What's up, guys? Welcome to today's festivities. We are doing our Worlds 2025 tier list. With me today, I have three of my talented and handsome and knowledgeable cardboard brothers with me. I have Andrew Cook. How you doing today, Andrew?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm looking forward to getting everything done this weekend because I'm sure, as many people can relate, the days leading up to a trip like Worlds are often very busy just with trying to condense work into them.
For sure, for sure. We also got Ed Knight with us. How are you doing today, Ed? I
I
like your
I
shirt, by the way.
am
Greatest
I
shirt of all time.
appreciate it. Yeah,
We're-
straight out of charts. We're here.
if you know, you know.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm doing good. I feel pretty prepared,
Mhm.
so that's great.
Yeah.
I've been testing my brain off, so
There you go.
shout out to
Working
my
hard.
my wife for being a married single mom for a few days.
I hear you. All right, and Will Bradshaw here as well. How are you doing today, Will?
Doing great. Excited about Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. I like it a lot. Uh,
Hell yeah.
it has been like 5 years at this point now, Will, almost. You and I have been playing a long, long time. Anyways, all right, let's break things down here for you guys a little bit. We have 39 heroes, and yes, I am including Eugene as a hero, that we need to go through today. And we are using the same format that we used for our Pro Tour Singapore tier list. We have on the uh, y-axis here is the viability. This means the raw strength plus meta position of the deck. Some heroes have a strong card pool, they have strong armor sets, they have a strong game plan, but they may not be positioned correctly. And the inverse could also be true. We could have a hero that may not have quite as many power cards, but they can attack the meta very nicely. So viability is a combination of those two things. We're going to be ranking them S to D. And then we are going to have our x-axis as the meta share. Here at the Card Guys, we don't like to do basic bro tier lists. We like to have a little bit of a little bit more specificity. So meta share, very simply, this is the percentage of the meta that a hero will occupy. Often at tier 4 events, things do tend to coalesce towards the best decks. Typically, I think historically, the top 3 decks have occupied probably 40% of the meta on the low end, 50, 55 on the high end. But I think we're in a meta that is a little bit unique where we have, 2 or 3 decks that are at the top, but there are maybe a good half dozen decks that can attack those decks decently. So we'll get into that. We're going to use the same 25 zones that we did last time. So we are not going to specify that, oh, this hero is 0.25 better than this other hero. We're just going to slam them into one of these 25 areas. Just like last time, each of these zones can hold 9 heroes, so we shouldn't have any overcrowding. That's a good card. Also, you might notice we have a card viewer at the bottom right. So if we reference something, or if one of the guys wants to reference a card, I can pull that up for you guys. So a little bit of a bonus for you guys that are not just listening, but also watching this. So, all right, let's jump into it because this could take a while. If you want an abridged version, you can go watch the video that we uploaded about a week ago, the no attention span version of the tier list. But for those of you guys who are having a flight or, a long drive, we're here to keep you company for the next couple hours. All right, guys, let's start off by putting a few larger. Let's get the high meta share heroes solidified here. Let's start off with Cindra, and then we'll kind of popcorn around here. So Cindra, this has been a hero that has been dominant for several months now. Very consistent hero. I know, Andrew, you won a ProQuest on Cindra. You probably are the most qualified here. Although I do think Will has been investigating this hero quite a bit too. So why don't you guys
Who,
break
me?
down Cindra a little bit for us?
Sure. Cindra, she's kind of the number one aggro deck in the format right now. Very consistent. It's a couple different variants on the build she can take, depending on if she's going to lean more into the one costs, whether getting fealty to help kind of cheese those one costs, or playing a few more blues, maybe even running like Spreading Flames or something. We haven't seen those lists do as well in the competitive scene yet, from what I can tell. So that said, she asks a very strong question, which is, can you stop her from getting her draws and keep her from just running you over with 20-point value turns every turn in a row, essentially?
Yeah.
How would you say that this hero can be attacked in the current metagame? Because this is when a blade of grass grows too high, they often become the target.
Yeah, well, one thing she really doesn't like doing is blocking. So decks that throw out significant disruption can always sort of help tear her apart a bit there. And the more targeted that is for her, the better. I'm thinking, what's coming to mind, because we were seeing her show up in LL, bit, is like Marlynn's Hand Rips. You take away her starter and her whole turn can fall apart. Something like a Race Face can work, but there are enough hands where she can function even without Draconics that it's not really a guarantee, and she gets to, because it's something that she can, in theory, play a little more defensively into.
Imagine our
not
ravenous. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, I was going to say, as far as a race face goes, imagine like Ravenous Rabble, Flick a Dagger, Cut Through, I don't know, something
Blaze
else.
Headlong.
It Blaze Headlong into a Lava Burst. It's like,
or a snatch or something.
That still seems like a pretty good Cindra Draconic turn, and she wasn't even Draconic.
Yep, pretty good. Just looking at these heroes here, I'm already like seeing some heroes that are gonna do decently well against her. Like you mentioned, Marlynn. I believe Jarl has a pretty decent time as well. Frostbites are good. Also, the fatigue style Jarl probably can fatigue her out. I believe Prism is also not. I mean, Andrew, it's no secret here that you're a Prism.
We'll talk about Prism. It's a weird dichotomy, her position right now. But I think in terms of Cindra's matchup side, we actually should mention her Gravy matchup and how not favored it is. It's not like unfavored necessarily, but I mentioned sort of disruption. Gravy has a decent amount of disruption that he can run between Conqueror, Loot the Hold, and sometimes some of his own ally effects can help do that. Meaning that she has to try and play around some of that and can just get straight up outvalued by Gravy Bones. Clearing his allies, even with Mask of Momentum, is not an efficient proposition a lot of the time.
Yep. That's actually something I learned as a Kassai. It's like, if you send your head jab into my dude, I'm like, okay, sure. That's fine. Okay, anyways, let's talk a little bit about her meta share. I presume this will probably be you could argue most represented or second most represented. I could see it either way. But clearly over 8% of the meta is going to be Cindra. I don't think we can really put her in A, even though there are certain ways to attack her. She's just too consistent. I mean, she
just won another battle hard like a few minutes ago, I found out.
Yeah. We were recording this on a Saturday before Worlds, so just for reference. All right, I think we could put her firmly there, and no doubt she will have maybe one or two other decks joining her. One of those two other decks is, of course, Verdance. This is a hero that a lot of people have started to shift onto. I've noticed a lot of Gravy players have rotated towards Verdance. Verdance just has a lot of raw strength. Obviously, has some of the best cards in the game. Has not Conquer, but Felling and Plow Under. Has access to Burn Bear and Light Up the Leaves, along with Storm Striders, so getting an extra turn at the end of the game is very, very strong. Has ways to deal with, pretty much everything in the game. Can be built with or without the pot combo. Often is running at least 9 defensive cards, has access to silver bullet cards like Scour, and Mental Block is also very, very strong. And often you start the game below 40 and she starts the game above 40. So that combined with Storm Striders just creates a very, very difficult deck to attack. Ed, you've been playing the most Verdance around here. What do you think about her matchup spread and her strength?
The upside to her versus something like Florian is you have game into basically everything. Like you can win any matchup. You don't just have like an auto loss or anything like that. Sure, you got like a staggering favorite matchups, unfavored matchups, but she's just really good, really consistent. Has a lot of utility. She can convert hands better than some of these other Earth heroes. Just really strong, and like you said, being able to, even if you go first, you send a light up leaves, you're leaking damage. They're starting lower than 40, where traditionally when you're playing standard flesh and blood without spells and things like that, you're able to convert your hand, block out, draw back up, and then you're doing your back and forth after the turn 0 sequence. And then the reach that she has once the opponent gets the single digit life totals is just absolutely ridiculous, right? Like the opponent has to completely change the way they play to either respect it or not. And if they don't respect it, they have it, they die. If they do respect it, then they're not sending as much damage efficiency, which is also winning the game for Verdance. So, and her utility, Earth heroes just have a ridiculous amount of sideboard options. So you mentioned Mental Block. That card is insane, like super busted. I'm kind of looking at lists right now. Scour just happens to hit a bunch of different random things. When you find a Scour against like a Prism, for instance, and they drop a couple of zeros, and you just destroy those zeros and kill one of their angels because they can't stop 3 arcane. It's pretty good. So yeah, just lots of tools. There's just a lot of ways to build her, and it's kind of hard to know what the best version is because there's potions, not potions. Combo, not combo, remembrance style, evergreen style. It's like, the thing is, when you pair against one, you never know which version you're going to get to, which also like dictates how you sideboard. Unless you're something like Cindra, where you just do the same thing every single time.
I have heard from several high-level players that this might actually be a trap pick, because there are several heroes in the A tier that bully her, and she isn't necessarily favored into either Gravy or Cindra. What would you say to people that are thinking that?
I mean, I disagree, like pretty wholeheartedly. I don't think she's a trap. I think she's a very solid pick. Yes, she has some matchups that aren't as good as you would hope, but like I think Cindra's pretty even depending on how you have it built. I think Gravy is a very respectable matchup depending on what your game plan is. And then a lot of the other decks just have a really difficult time dealing with the split damage, right? If they bring in D-Reacts and you decide to have a few turns that are just Burn Bear and the Waning Moon, and then felling the crown afterwards because they arsenaled their better example is Plow Under. They arsenaled the D-React because they weren't able to use it, and then you just get rid of it. Like she just has so much random things that she can do that it's hard to play around everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never been more upset as a Valiant Dynamo player than playing against Pure Arcane. Pure Arcane Verdance. Okay, all right. Where do you want to put her?
Same place as Cindra.
She's right next to Cindra?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I do think if I had to guess, there would be more Verdance players than Cindra players. I think we've seen a slight
100%.
trend towards Verdance being the most played deck.
It was so incredibly annoying. I had a sink below for like 3, I want to say 4 turns, but it was probably just 3 of Ed just throwing nothing but arcane at me. It was the worst.
Yeah. Our sling of D-React against Verdance can be very risky. In fact, bringing them in at all can be very risky.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about the A tier here. What would you consider to be a good A tier deck?
Gravy.
All right, we're just gonna knock the
First one to
first.
come in, yeah.
We're just gonna knock these three out. All right, let's just go with these three. All right, Gravy Bones. Ever since he lost Tipple, has been hurting a little bit. We've also seen his conversion rate, win rates on tournaments, ProQuest wins on the downturn slightly, but that might just because all the good Gravy players have already won ProQuest. I don't know. A very, very challenging deck, but we are talking about Worlds. This is not a Thursday evening tournament down the road. No, this is we're talking about the best 300 to 400 players in the world. So I think those that have been piloting Gravy since the middle of the year might switch off, but I think a lot of them have just invested so much time. And it's one of the hardest heroes to play in the game, and it's quite rewarding to play. So I still think this is going to be a pretty well represented deck, but he has started to show some rust. Any thoughts on Gravy?
We were mentioning earlier how Verdance has game into everything. That's kind of how I feel about Gravy. I don't think there is any matchup that's like okay. There are one or two matchups that are really, really tough for him.
Which are?
But they're not. Those would be the Dawnblade decks and the Prism decks.
AKA what I'm bringing and what.
I mean, yeah, like there's a reason, because Gravy's been at the forefront of so many people's minds for so long. It's hard not to put respect on the decks that do kind of beat up on his allies. That said, neither of those decks are poised to be particularly high percentages. So I think, and he himself pub stomps a bunch of other heroes that might come out to try and like sneak into the meta and be unexpected. So while we have seen some people pivoting off of him, the most notable one that comes to mind for me is Jacob Clements, very high profile player, was playing Gravy, he's most recently been playing Verdance. I would be shocked to see him anywhere below the top 5 most represented.
There's an interesting point that you kind of touched on briefly, is that these three heroes being in the top tier kind of protect each other from other decks. Gravy being a board state deck, the board state deck, whether it's original Prism, Dromai, Enigma, has always gate kept 40% of the heroes in the game. And ironically, some of those heroes are actually very, very, like, for example, most board state decks are crushing against Guardians, but Guardians are crushing against Cindra. So
right.
We have that type of example there. So in a way that these three heroes actually like protect each other, which is not something we often see, because normally, especially recently, it's been a 2-deck format. It's been a while since we've been in a 3-deck format. For example, the last the one that I remember was London, was Aurora, Enigma, Singapore. I can't remember what you guys went to Singapore. What was Singapore a 2-deck or 3-deck format?
I would call it primary. I mean, it was a Gravy format again. That was like he was the front and center there. And then
didn't Ira win the calling? It's crazy.
Yes,
yeah, that was Naive's weird list, right?
I don't even know.
So
it was
not like it was him, and there were like maybe one or two under him. Like again, Cindra was still a thing there, although I don't think she was as popular. You had Earth Hero du jour, also around there, but it was not a. I don't think there was much argument about what the best decks were.
Sure. All right. If this is a highly represented hero, it clearly goes in this column here. But are we going to put him in S or A?
I don't. Is it going to be highly? Like, I might put it into 3 to 8% personally, but It's probably on the larger side.
I think
Probably.
the world's metagame tends to coalesce, and yeah, I feel like a lot of people qualified for worlds through Gravy as well. So yeah,
It's borderline, is what I would say.
yeah.
I would put it on A though, personally, just because it does have some pretty difficult matchups, like the Prism and the Dory. We've been seeing Dories do pretty well at some of these events, and then the Cindra matchup is unfavored as well.
Mhm.
Like, sure, can it beat it? Absolutely.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can prismatic into like get some crazy value and just kill them, but like
Yeah.
not
Tremendously so, but it is still Cindra favored by a little.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about another hero. You know what? We're at the now that we've filled out like these three. Let's kind of popcorn around. Andrew, pick a hero.
Let's get Puffin. I actually kind of want to talk about Puffin a little.
Ah, okay. All right. Okay, so Puffin, a hero from High Seas, generally built as a aggro deck that is often trying to get out several golden cogs and, power up their pirate mechanologist majestics like Palantir and Dovetail and stuff like that. A hero that I believe last time we put her above Florian or something like that, and people were like, "What the heck are you doing?" She recently got the backspin one, the one that untaps, which is a pretty powerful card. I personally have not played against a Puffin in quite a while, but this is a hero that, very similar to other aggressive mechanologists, you can ignore their attacks at your own peril.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to bring her up, aside from the fact that I've had to play a couple at armories recently, is that for some reason I've been seeing a bit of a spike in popularity for her at events. Like, she's been, kind of in the pack of heroes that are getting played at a few copies, and I think part of it is, the Backspin Plus card is very good. Like, until you play the deck, it is shocking how much that card can do for a turn cycle.
Yeah. The stat line on this card, I brought it up so the people watching the video can see it. It is a red 4 attack, 3 block, which is already very good stats. That is gonna have go again if you're doing the thing, and it untaps your cog, which is like,
yeah, it's in a lot of
insanely
cases
good, and it's 0 cost. Yeah, it's like everything
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah,
It's bananas.
Because of the weapon, it's closer to thinking of it like a 0 for 6 than anything.
Mhm.
But with that said, she's been showing up, but she has not been converting particularly well.
Mhm.
So she is a deck that I would expect to see at just from these results, unless people have really figured something out. The narrowing of the field at a tier 4 event, I would expect to see kind of push her lower again, despite the results we've seen. So she's someone I would put more towards the lower part of here. I just think she's an interesting case study in that. See if that prediction ends up being correct.
Are you familiar with her matchup spread against the top tier decks?
So, she is, again, part of the reason, again, it's her conversion has been not great is because she doesn't have fantastic matchups. With the right draw, sure, she can kind of race with Cindra, because she does have a very good armor suite. It's one of the benefits of playing Mechanologist.
Golden Skywarden is also
Golden Skywarden, sure, yeah, that too. She can. I think part of what she was good at was she was actually pretty good into Kayo, and that might have been part of the reason responsible for her spike in popularity. Back when Kayo was thought to be the meta deck on the release of Super Slam, but she struggles into Verdance because she just gets blocked and fatigued. She does not particularly efficiently clear allies a lot of the time from Gravy. And while she can race Cindra, she's not, I think, favored to do so.
Mhm.
So I do not. She shouldn't be a top performing deck, and I expect to see her representation go down from what we've seen in recent events.
Okay, where do you think
My favorite play against Puffin is like turn 1, just zapping their bird. It's so fun.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
the bird does have some weaknesses against the bird instead.
That's so fucked.
Yeah, that's pretty mean. All right, where do you guys want to put her?
Can we? I was going to ask if we could. Put her somewhere. I thought we were going next. My bad.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yep.
I'd call her a C tier deck.
Yeah, I would
honestly. And she's hovering around that very low. I think, given the size of worlds and the percentage I expect to see, I don't know that I'd say sub 1% necessarily, but I wouldn't expect to see more than 4 or 5 copies.
I mean, 4 or 5 would put
which is
here.
very low. No,
Yeah,
4 or 5. We're expecting 400-ish people, right? So
I
that's
think
about 1%. Yeah, like I said.
Oh, okay, sure.
1%. So I put there.
I
Could be
actually
lower
think
than that.
worlds
I would
will
not be
be
surprised.
like 350 to 380 if I had to guess, but we'll
Sure.
see.
Then sub 1% would be fine.
She would be close. On either way, it's like 1% basically.
Sure.
Like tops.
All right. Ed, you Poly Cranka Slayer, pick a hero.
Me?
Yeah.
Me pick a hero? Man, I wasn't prepared.
Well,
let's
you're
do
on
another
deck.
like off meta pick. I don't know. Jarl's kind of interesting. You know, I like Guardian, so talk about Jarl.
Right. Yeah. All right. So Jarl has been a hero that has. There's basically 2 builds of him. You have the more mid-rangey version that's kind of disrupting, doing the normal Guardian thing. And then you have the completely degenerate play 68, 69, 70 cards. Fatigue style Jarl that is playing Tunic and Sledge of Anvilheim and all that. This deck has actually been getting close to winning some like battle hardens recently. I don't know too much about this deck other than that people are billing him as a fatigue deck. Ed, what do you think about this hero?
I mean, he's the worst Earth hero, probably.
Is he even an Earth hero? I mean, he's an Ice Guardian to me.
It depends on how you build it. You can play Felling and stuff in that deck too. But yeah, the majority of the ones that have been doing better between the 2 builds is the fatigue one. And it has some like reasonable game plans into the meta decks. I think Gravy is probably a pretty difficult matchup. I haven't been testing this deck, so I'm not exactly sure, but he's just pretty efficient at doing the fatigue thing, but I don't even think he's the best fatigue deck in the game right now. So the only thing that is better for him is I think his center matchup is better compared to the other fatigue deck that I'm sure we'll talk about in a little while. So just having the shield to be able to snuff out a turn and then having the ice, you can play channel, like you could potentially really stifle some of those turns and just be more efficient than what the Cindra can do when reduced on resources. So that would be the main reason I would think about playing him if I were to choose that, is he has good matchups into Cindra, a reasonable game plan into Verdance, and then the rest of the decks he can do pretty well into, because a lot of them don't like D-Reacts, or he can do like a crumble game plan and Oak can hold you and just outgrind, right?
Sure.
Has
So
evasion.
Verdances have trended towards not putting in the pot combo, and I believe if you don't have the pot combo and you run up against Fatigue Jarl, you're probably dead in the water there. So in theory, if you're good against Cindra and you, depending on the build of Verdance, either an auto win or like auto lose. I guess you're 50-50 into Verdance. It's not an awful position to be in. However, one thing I do want to bring up is that when you are playing Fatigue Jarl, yes, you will beat you. The onus is on the opponent to win the game, basically. And obviously, Worlds tier players will know how to handle fatigue. Timmy down the street at your Friday night armory may not know how to deal with fatigue Jarl, but I expect almost every single Worlds player to have played against either the old school fatigue Oldhim or have some reps into fatigue Jarl and have a game plan. But you can obviously win some games just by having a favorable matchup or having you just win pre-sideboarding because your opponent just does not have the tools. So I think he is a okay choice. I don't think he will be too common because, Guardian has just been not great for a while. And, if you want to play an Earth Guardian, go play Florian. So I kind of
pretty much
feel like he's maybe in the B very low. Would that be reasonable?
Yeah, I think B is a respectable position for him because he does have really solid game plans against certain things, but he has some pretty bad matchups. And I don't expect a lot of Jarl, to be completely honest. Some people really love Guardian, like I do, so they're willing to probably take it, and that's what they want to do. I can think of like one specific instance in like maybe team that is, I'd put it in low 1 to 3 just because of some background knowledge that I have.
Okay, sure. Now, Ed, I believe that the best Guardian is actually Victor at the moment. Call me crazy, but if you want a deck to just destroy Cindra, this is the deck to do it.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Just because of the Cindra matchup.
Yeah. So
sure. Yeah.
Victor has been the bane of ninjas for forever. Recently, he got the Riches of Trobaldani, which is just pitch it, draw a card.
Agreed.
What? Pitch, activate gold, draw 2. What? It seems really, really good. Did he get anything from Super Slam? That was a Guardian heavy set. Or he mainly got stuff from the Mastery Pack Guardian, right? Like Test of Iron Grip.
No. Well, yeah.
Yes and no.
he did get that. Yeah. Yes and no. He got like potentially a better glove, but I think the other Gauntlets of Iron Will is probably just fine as well. The Test of Iron Grip is good. It's like a defensive pummel, which is nice, which is very good against Cindra, right? And then the big thing that the aggressive Guardians got was Red Boulder Drop, right? So that's the main thing, even though that's more of an LL staple. It's definitely solid for sure. So you get more efficient 2-card plays while being able to block generally like 10 against a Cindra or something like that. So, but his matchup into Verdance and Heavy are like trash. They're so bad.
Yeah. However, I want to bring up the reason I was saying Victor is potentially the best Guardian is because he's very good against Cindra, and he's also very good at. We're going to talk about like the 6 or 7 decks that are trying to prey on these top 3 decks. Should be good against Warriors. I know he's very good against Dorinthia. Has a bunch of poppers. Should be good against Prism. Is great into like I think he's fine into Mario. Dio is very similar to Cindra. So I actually think this is maybe a dark horse pick for the tournament. Obviously, you're going to need some gem luck to dodge Gravy and Verdance, but you're very good against Cindra, very good against that echelon of decks that are trying to prey on those top 3 decks.
Yeah, you couldn't catch me playing him.
No.
Not with 2 basic battle losses.
All right. Fair.
Yeah, he's
fair.
a B.
He's at B? B very low?
Yeah, he's next to Jarl.
Low?
Yeah.
Next to Jarl. All right. Okay. I think there could be an argument for putting him in A. Will and Andrew, do you guys have
Not A.
not
I
A?
think there's one or
I
two decks
No.
that in that A range you're talking about, like you think he plays that. I think there's one notable one there that will see a good amount of play that he absolutely loses to.
Okay.
Yep.
that
Yeah, I know who
is,
you're talking about already.
Cindra. No, Verdance. I think it's just like terrible matchup, and the Verdance really drags it down. Everything else you said is true, but that Verdance matchup is bad.
Mhm.
Well, the Gravy matchup's terrible too.
There you go.
Did any of the anti-aura cards that Guardian has gotten over the last year helped with any of that, or was it printed to hate on Enigma and then Enigma left, and then you're like, okay.
Yeah. I'm going to backpedal just a little bit. So there is a game plan into Gravy. Like if you're playing the batter to a pulp, the only promo card, you can blow up their compass and then be able to get them. And then you could potentially kill a Verdance that doesn't have a pot combo, right?
Mhm.
Like you can just kind of out pressure them by playing a very aggressively leaned list.
Yeah.
So I think Jarl might be better than Victor, though.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
these are for gem roulette loving, Guardian loving people only, basically. Okay.
basically, yeah.
All right. Got it.
I don't know
Okay.
why, but the way you said that almost made it sound like a bad thing. Those people.
Well,
But
I mean, some people. I do think relying on gem roulette is actually not an awful strategy.
sometimes it works.
It can work. All right, Will, it is your turn. Which hero would you like to talk about?
We were talking about Kayo earlier about how he was expected to be just like this all-star out of Super Slam, and
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
one.
The other
I
KO.
want to talk about no,
No,
not
that
RKO,
one.
the
OG.
older one, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to talk about KO. So yeah, I'd love to talk about KO.
All right.
You know, I
Original.
really-
That's the one Cook was referencing, the other hero.
Mhm.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not even actually. There's another hero that I think Victor
Oh, really?
struggles into, who
All right.
should be reasonably popular and good.
Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge
Okay.
when we cross that bridge. All right, so
Sure.
original KO from Heavy
Mhm.
Hitters. Obviously got a ton of cards from Super Slam. His deck has like a ton of disruption now. He has a ton of 6 power, 7 power, 8 power cards. Does a ton of damage. Savage Sash is obviously very, very good. This is a hero, though, that we thought was going to be ridiculous and just has had abysmal conversion rates, but has done decently in the PQ season.
Probably
So
won
I'm
like a handful.
so I'm kind of conflicted
Uh,
on this hero.
I don't know, man. I think this deck is kind of buck wild.
Oh, I better pull that card up. Okay, so let's talk about
Yours
KO's
have
matchup
dropped
spread
immediately.
into the top decks. Now, being an aggro deck, I think you are okay into all of these, but I don't think you're like I don't think you're favored or unfavored into these 3 decks. And that, I guess, makes you by default an A tier deck. But
Yeah.
this is a hero with a decent amount of variance as well. So I feel like even though he's somewhat popular, he may not be.
All the data I have.
Yeah.
Okay, you finish.
No, I was just gonna say like top tier players are generally pretty adverse to variance. So
yeah, to say it feels like he should be at least 50-50. All the data I have, I says that he's unfavored into all of them.
really,
That's
okay,
rough.
Loses to all of them. Yeah. And so we could try and like theorize the reason for each of them. Gravy's probably the easiest in that it's hard for him to efficiently clear allies. He does, especially in the new builds, he actually does less drawing and discarding, so he gets to swing his claw less often, and that's like the way he has to, claw an ally. And even then, you're still often losing value on it. Like you usually can't do that as your first attack. So even Sawbones, who would normally think of as like being 3 health, he's going to get to be 4 health there because he's going to prevent a point on your first attack and then eat the 3 from the claw. Not to mention, like, Rigor Mortis, of course, is never only 1 health into a KO. So he just gets outvalued there. Cindra, he's got a good armor suite, and the Intimidate on Scaling Fleshbag can be very powerful into her. But at the same time, he has enough non-blocking cards in his deck that he can be forced into some really awkward spots, and he can just get outraced if he doesn't find his Blood Rush fast enough. Verdance is, well, Ed, you can probably speak to the Verdance matchup for KO a little bit more. But despite his ability to have a decent amount of Arcane Barrier, it just doesn't play into a good game plan for him trying to do that. So.
He's a hero
he
that's
doesn't want to
reliant
push
on
the
having a yellow or a blue every turn. So it's like you draw a quad red hand against Cindra, you probably just lose the game.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of variance. Things do have to go your way. Okay, so originally I thought he was like on paper okay against all these heroes, but maybe in reality, because of the amount of value you lose against each of these heroes and the variance, he just doesn't quite cut it. I feel like he has been constantly like top 5 in terms of representation, though. But I'm not sure if that's going to be true at Worlds. I'm kind of leaning putting him next to the Guardians.
I think he's still
Probably
A tier
lower.
personally. I think he's pretty good. I know the data says not, but like, throughout all this testing, getting ready for Worlds, I think he has a lot of utility. I think he has a decent game plan into Verdance. It's still very close. I can't speak to his Gravy matchup. I can't speak to his Cindra matchup, but he can just, shit out 30 something damage in a turn just randomly and Cindra. Yeah. So, and then a lot of these other decks, he just outvalues because he generates a ton of, turn sequence or turn cycle value. Like, he usually gets better turn cycle value than other decks that are trying to do a similar thing.
Yep.
And
okay.
To be fair, he did win the AGE New England Players Championship.
Yep.
So that was an event exclusively populated by very good players, albeit a relatively small event. So a hero like him that can high roll maybe had some extra potential there. It's hard to say with an event that size, but there are certainly good players who think he is worth it.
Sure.
Well, it's a split format, Worlds is. So if you can do it 4 times in a row, it's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So this is kind of one of those heroes that you're going to begin the game or begin the tournament with 2 wins, and you're going to begin the tournament with 2 losses.
Yeah, it can definitely come down to that variance for sure.
You're going to draw that.
I still think he's solid.
Yeah.
All right. It is my turn to pick a hero. And, well, no, we're just going to go through all the warriors whenever it's my turn, I think. All right. So we're going to talk about Fang.
Do it.
All right. Oh, Fang, how you have fallen. I don't even know if you've fallen from A. You've fallen from B. Let's just put it that way.
Yikes.
Built as a aggressive, leaning deck that just extracts value. I nicknamed this deck Value Town Deck. You often are just trying to get 3 fealty as quickly as possible. There are certain builds that chase it very aggressively. There are builds that are built, with a higher blue count that's, just trying to get online in a reasonable amount of time. It's not trying to get online in turn 2, turn 3. Generally, this hero is built with a 45 to 50 reds, and it just doesn't have any on hits. It is a value deck. It blocks well, but it just Fang again. Okay, let's run through these top matchups. So Fang against Cindra. Cindra gets to go from the very start, whereas Fang has to work towards something and then can compete back. Dynamos does help against breakpoints, but I just feel like Cindra just runs you over, and the runway on the game is not long enough for you to extract value from free daggers plus dynamo resets, so that is unfavored. Fang is actually better against mid-range heroes than aggro decks. I think that's just a general theme of Warriors, is that they're generally better against mid-range decks. Against Verdance, if they banned the card Scour, this would actually be a playable matchup. But the fact that Scour just says, oh, you have 3 fealty? How about you have 0 fealty? And you're going to like it. People have said that, the Parched Terrain card, I'll pull that up, is like good. I'm like, do you want to pay 1 for your instant that doesn't deal damage? Not really. I mean, it's just Verdance could kill you without gaining life. Let's just put it that way. So that's a very unfavored matchup there. Dual wield warriors in general are okay into Gravy. I wouldn't say this is a awful matchup, but yeah. But basically, being a complete dog against Cindra and Verdance is like enough to throw this into B. But then when you realize that, like, okay, you have like no disruption, no interaction with the opponent, there's a lot of decks that are just gonna like vomit their hand, and you're gonna be very, very sad. He is going next to Puffin. Don't play Fang at Worlds.
Yep.
It's so sad. Like,
Agreed.
you want him to be so much better in Verdance than he is. Like, that's part of what he was touted as. And like, even some of the data suggests, like, at these events, he's still doing decently into her, but like, it's
Fang was actually touted as back at Pro Tour London. Was like, okay, you see a Florian as Fang, you're generally pretty happy. It's not like a crushingly favored matchup, but you are favored. But yeah, it's just the metagame has gotten hostile. He hasn't gotten he didn't get a card in High Seas or Super Slam. I mean, it kind of makes sense because he came out this year. But yeah, he's just going to kind of sit there and see. I actually think in terms of card quality, he's like B or B plus, but his meta position is actually like a D. So if there's a exact right meta, he can be okay, and he maybe. All right, Andrew, back to you. Pick a hero.
All right, so the actual hero I was talking about that should be an A tier that's also good into the Guardians was Oscilio. So let's talk about him.
Yeah. That was the only other one I could think of.
This is a hero that I know that you personally like, Andrew. I remember you played him at a
I was
very, very fun hero.
Yeah, I was playing him for a while, basically since release. He's kind of been my side CC deck for a while.
Right.
He's just really, really powerful what he is capable of doing. Basically only held back by the difficulty he has blocking sometimes. I say sometimes, frequently, right? He's got more armor than some wizards, less armor than he would need to actively like stop on hits without having to give up, multiple cards from his hand.
Sure.
But his Gone in a Flash combo turns are nuts. And against any hero that he has the time and space to kind of find his pieces and go against, he is just very, very powerful, which means that he's a pick for people who want to target down the Verdances and Gravies. Those are kind of the matchups he's looking to target in the meta right now. Now, with that said, Verdance got Light Up the Leaves recently, which is a big deal in that matchup. But even with that, she has to have it on the right turn, of course. It's still a case where I think he should still be favored there. So I would not be at all surprised again see him kind of hovering around one of the more represented decks.
Have you ever pitched a blue card to force a will? That's what Light Up the Leaves is. It's pretty sick.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, I think we have a lovely slot for him right here on color theme as well.
That feels about right.
Okay, so I mean, Oscilio has been a hero that the people that like love him, really do love him. So I think there's always like a floor for how many Oscilios are going to show up. But he has a decent position in the metagame, as you pointed out, good against Verdance and Gravy. And this is a hero that has potential to high roll. And yeah, so it's a really fun hero to play as well. So
Yeah.
I think he is deserving of that position there.
If they can solve the Cindra matchup, then they're sitting pretty.
Yep.
That's what I'll say there.
Yep. All right. Ed, it's your turn.
I choose Eugene.
We can't have Eugene until we talk about Rhinar. So let's talk about Rhinar first.
Rhinar it is.
I want to talk about Eugene and Rhinar.
Yeah, we'll talk about Eugene and Rhinar here. All right, so I recently got to play Rhinar on the 0 to 60 series. This hero is a lot of fun. And I think I played against several of the top meta decks. I think I played against Prism, Kassai, and Cindra. And this hero, when it's humming, just deals so much damage. And has a lot of disruption, can be built in a lot of different ways. But again, this is a very variance-based hero. So yeah. Also, won't have the Armory deck Reinhardt cards. So Alpha Instinct, I think was the card, was the blue. It's a, let's see, Alpha Instinct. So it's a 6 power blue that doesn't block, but it can still pop.
So that won't be legal?
That won't be legal. But
really? Okay.
I mean, he's still going to have all the Super Slam cards. So I think card quality is very high. I think you have enough damage to beat the crap out of Cindra from the one game that I saw. Also, Intimidate should be really good against Verdance because Verdance wants to block with particular cards and send specific 2-card hands back. So should be good against those as well. Talking with Eugene, he says he's very happy with the position of Rhinar in the metagame. But I don't see anybody else playing him other than him and a very select few other people. I think most people would just navigate towards Kayo because Reinhardt is inherently more variance-based because you do run... Like, Kayo is running like 50 to 55 6-power cards, whereas Reinhardt's running like 40. So there's a lot of draw-discard randomness there. I kind of want to put him in very low B and put Eugene in very low S. Any thoughts on that?
Eugene is good, but he is hindered by... Yeah, let's average it and put him in A.
No, we can't put Eugene in A.
Eugene is very good, though. Yeah, you know what? He does have all the gold cold equipment. Like that's where
put him in S.
Eugene has to be an S. This is our tradition here.
Okay.
I do want to point out that like experience on this hero matters a lot because you know when to take the lines, calculate the EV of a lot of things. If you talk with him about different lines, I think Aaron pointed this out in Osaka. He's like, there's no way that's right. And then Eugene would like explain it to him and he's like, huh, I guess that is right. So it's yeah. Any other, I think Will, I cut you off there. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say that there's going to be a Rhinar that hits exactly what they need to hit in every match. And they're going to like glide their way all the way to the top 8. But aside from that, it's going to be too hard
Eugene,
to play that
obviously.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be too hard to play Rhinar perfectly or have everything align perfectly, I think. But we'll see. All Rhinar top 8.
If whoever they are is like really good with their LL deck, and they just get lucky day one, they're basically there, right?
Yep.
I'm curious what Eugene is going to play in LL.
I don't think he even knows. I don't think he even knows yet. So, all right, Will, pick a hero.
Let's talk about Kano. Ooh, is Kano even going to be alive? Well, I guess
that
we'll see.
That is a good question.
Barely, I think. we need to see the Rochester results, because obviously if he wins that, he's gone. Haven't seen those yet. But just from the numbers we've seen, I don't think he crosses the line from the Pro Quest the final weekend here. So he's probably still legal for Worlds.
All right. So those of
Crazy.
you who have been in the game for long enough know that there is a cycle of Kano. You disrespect him, he wins. People start respecting him because he won. He stops winning, and then the cycle repeats. People disrespect him, and then he starts winning again. So I believe at the moment we are in a disrespect Kano meta, if I had to guess.
Except for assassins, but yes.
Yeah. Assassins just get Spell Void stapled to their AB, which is a warrior can dream. But I mean, a lot of the top tier decks, so we look at like Cindra basically only has a Spell Void dagger. Verdance, Kano is actually one of the natural predators to Verdance. You often have enough time to set up a potion combo, like a Kano potion combo. Gravy, I think you can put enough pressure on Kano. I also think Cindra has some tools, depending if they're built with Breaking Point, and then they also have Art of the Dragon Scale, I think. What's the name of it?
Scale, yeah.
They can run Scale to pressure the Striders. It's inconsistent. It's honestly usually like a die roll matchup from what I experienced.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kano does pretty well against, the Fatigue. Jarl, Victor should be fine. I think he's okay in this meta game. And we've seen him, win ProQuest. We've also seen him get to the finals of ProQuest. Ed and me.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I don't think this is a bad pick, especially considering that people are in a disrespect Kano meta. What do you guys think about Kano?
Pretty good.
I would not be at all surprised if the Kano stands out there, bull rushed Worlds to try and get their hurrah in, because if they couldn't do it during the ProQuest season. With that said, he's like bottom of A, top of B for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say low.
I think we have to put him next to Kayo here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now
his win percentage has been pretty low lately, though. So yeah, sure, he's been winning some ProQuests, but he has a bad Oscilio matchup. I'm looking over at the stats. Bad Oscilio matchup, good slow deck matchup like Guardians and Florian and stuff like that, but those decks are kind of kicked to the curb a little bit this meta, so he doesn't have as much prey that he usually does, and his Verdance matchup isn't as good as you actually think. I think it's pretty fair on the Verdance side because you get AB4, you get Light Up the Leaves, you can play additional tech for that. It just depends. So I would lean putting him towards B.
Okay. Will, you're kind of the tiebreaker here. Is he an A or B?
I want him in low A.
Low A. That doesn't exist. Okay. I know you're trying to be diplomatic, Will.
So we're all basically on the same page where it's like a low A, higher B. Like he's better than these Guardians.
Put him in B. Put him in B.
All right.
By putting him in B, that's going to cause people to want to prove us wrong, right? So, all right, we'll put him there.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
All right, put him in A. Put him in A.
Yeah.
Put him in A.
Put him in A. Okay.
No.
Right.
Come out. Prove yourself. I'll meet you. All right, you can prove yourself. Okay.
All right. I believe it is my turn to pick. All right. The next warrior that I see right now is Boltyn. Boltyn, the hero that just needs another legendary, has always been. Oh boy, where do we start? Okay, so he got Battlefield Beacon from the Super Slam set. A very, very good card. This is a card that helps set up your next turn. It's a yellow 3-block light card, so it checks all those boxes there. It's a Chain Ender, which is something that traditionally Boltyn has had to rely on generic cards like Snatch or, kind of middling cards like Red Illuminate for. This is a hero that, in theory, in set 19, if set 19 is Monarch Part 3, would get better. But at the moment, he is not very good. The combo is basically irrelevant at this point because there's so much Arsenal hate, not to mention there's Kabuto warriors running around. The Raiden builds, you could build him with Nimby, but that makes your deck a little bit more inconsistent. If you ever hit with Lumina and flip a Nimblism, I can guarantee you're going to want to rage. So yeah, he's just basically has to be built Cheerios, Raiden aggro. There are some weaknesses to doing that, though. You get outsped by a lot of things because you need to build up a little bit of soul in order to enable a lot of your larger plays. In order to go for a Lumina turn with aggro Raiden, you generally need to start with 2 soul. Also, you are very fragile against the wizards in general. Now, Halo does help against Kano, but I think Verdance will just eat you alive there. You are also susceptible to fatigue because you do not have a real weapon, which is a moderate concern, I think, in this format. So, all in all, not picking on anything in the meta, very inflexible game plan, has to present basically the same idea every single game. Goes next to Fang. Don't play him at Worlds.
He could be a 0, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nobody's going to bring him, right?
Yeah. Because I'm not playing him. There's a I literally at like 4 or 5 events I was the only Boltyn at them, so
Yeah, if it's not 0, it's like 1, I think.
Yeah. We can't throw him in D tier because he has like 15 legendaries at this point. So you either have 15 legendaries or codex, then you don't get thrown into D tier. That's them the rules. All right, Andrew, pick a hero.
Probably beating around the bush long enough. Let's talk about Prism.
All right, the other light hero in the game. One of the favorites among a lot of heroes and a lot of people. You know what? I'm not even going to give an intro to this because you're a Prism specialist. I'll just shut up and listen.
Okay, so Prism. Strong linear game plan with her heralds if she wants it, and the ability to pivot onto the aura-based board building, kind of take over the game with Vestige, card draw, Genesis, etc. Theoretically, quite powerful into all 3 of the top decks, Cindra, Verdance, and Gravy. I say theoretically because, like with Kano, her strength in the meta is in large part dependent on how much people respect her. That can mean bringing in poppers, especially 7-power ones. That can mean bringing in other specific tech cards, like the new channel for the Earth Heroes. So she's certainly very powerful. I think she definitely belongs in A tier. The question becomes, how much are people expecting to see her, and how much respect are people willing to give her? I think the perception has been for a few weeks now from the ProQuest and Battle Hardened results that she is a real deck, and people will be bringing tech for her. So the exact form of that, what people decide is the best, is what kind of remains to be seen, and how the Prism players are able to adapt to and plan for and play around that. The new Angelic Attendant card, as you mentioned, very, very strong in both versions of the deck for her. So being able to find ways to leverage that to get around some of the weaknesses.
Yeah, Angelic Attendant is the the expansion slot card from Super Slam that allows you to awaken a Figment. In the past, you used to have to hit and then get your Figment out and all that. So, and you needed Soul in order to flip. Now this flips and gives you Soul, which is pretty good. It also blocks 3 and it's a light card, so I mean it seems good. Yellow
it's
pitch,
the yellow, right? It
does
everything.
everything.
It does everything. No, it's very funny to me now that from the very first turn of the game, if that first Herald hits, she can have a hand where she gets to swing and use the Archangel Soraya ability to draw 2 cards. Because normally you would need to have 1 soul banked up prior to the hit. Now if she has Attendant, she can just do it.
Okay, so in terms of tech cards, obviously poppers are very, very strong against Prism. Just as a PSA, 6 is not a popper against Prism. Do not play CNC and say, ha ha ha, I have a popper. It is not a popper.
Now
depends on what deck you're playing, but
yeah, so
if you're a Cindra, it's not enough.
Yeah, it's CNC is not enough. Also, I believe there is a Midas Touch is another card that has seen some very fringe play. Helps get around the loop a little bit. And I guess just having extra action points like Brutes would obviously be very difficult for Prism. Obviously, they have poppers and they have action points. So that's definitely not a matchup you want to see. But in general, your matchup spread looks pretty favorable. And I do think this is going to be a pretty popular hero. I don't know if this breaches the large 8%, but I wouldn't be surprised.
No. I would.
There's definitely a floor and a ceiling for Prism because there's like amount of people that really love this hero, and then there's some people that will not touch Illusionist with a 10-foot pole like me. So
I'd kind of want to Oscilio.
Next to Oscilio? All right. That's where she's going.
I actually think she's S tier, but
interesting. Meta position is actually very good. So
it is.
Yeah. That's
again,
why.
We're paradoxically, if she were less talked about, I would say yes. As is, I think her. I think she I think she needs to be sort of surprising a meta a little bit to truly be S tier.
I see. Okay. All right, we'll put Prism there next to Oscilio.
Just drop library like on the first couple of turns of the game, and you win like literally anything. It doesn't matter. Like that shit is so egregious.
But you want to talk about high roll heroes? She can high roll.
Yep.
Yeah, she can. Oh my god.
Oh my lord.
All right, Ed, it is your turn.
Man, let's get some of this trash out of here. Let's talk about Betsy.
All right, so ironically, I have played more games as Betsy than games into Betsy. You have Bet Big and Drink 'em Under the Table. I do not remember what those cards do, so I'm going to pull them up now. But you are a Guardian, which is by default bad at the moment. And you are a incomplete Guardian at the moment, which is bad. I don't even think the surprise factor or the fact that nobody knows what your cards do is even going to matter here. So yeah, I don't even know. If someone told me they were playing Betsy at Worlds, I would say, did your cat tell you to do that?
They're trying to speedrun the side events, bro.
Yeah, yep. LSS, we need
gold foil good time Chapeau for a long time someday.
D0. For shit, not even close.
We need classic battles, Betsy versus Olympia. You know what? Let's just talk about Olympia as well. Why not? He got the most expansion slot cards in Super Slam, so that's good. He now begins the game at an effective 44 life. Great. But the only way to build this deck is as a DGA fatigue deck. And if you do that, maybe you beat Cindra. Maybe. But everything else here, I think, absolutely destroys you. Yeah.
You can be kind of funny at your local armory.
That too.
That's an armory deck, bro.
That is my armory deck. I like playing Olympia quite a bit. All right, he could go to D. All right, well, pick another D0 hero that we can make fun of.
Oh, this is gonna hurt my heart. She's probably not actually D0, but let's talk about Ira.
Okay.
No, she's not D.
Where
Yeah,
the
but
heck
she's
is
in she's fallen so low it feels like she's down there.
She's not good. But
She
she's
used
not
to be
D.
great,
Yep.
bro. She used to be a hero. Now she's nothing.
Well, it took away all the broken stuff with her.
Okay, so Ira is a hero that built in two ways. You either build her very defensively and go Kadachi into disruption, or Kadachi into disruption. So things like Censor, CNC, Erase Face, those type of effects, Seek Vengeance, stuff like that. If you're playing with the
Kadachi's.
Edge of Autumn.
Could be doing
You
Edge of
also
Autumn.
have a lot of new cards from the Armory deck, and you can build her aggressively in that case, where you push over with your Scar Wraps. I haven't seen this hero in quite a while, so I think her card pool is very reliant on the generics. I don't know what to say about this hero. Probably in B, probably very low.
It shows good matchup into Prism. I don't know how real that is, but
It is like
It's got a lot of
if she
pop.
has the defensive tools and
Yeah.
she's not running like I mean this was like more Neil's kind of thing this year to like pick up the point for the extra go again, but they're 2 blocks.
Yep.
So it is a rough matchup for her for Prism. It can be anyway.
She also loses to 2 out of 3 decks. Cindra, Verdance, super bad into Verdance. And then Gravy is apparently a little favorable, but they're probably playing like the dual threat aggro game plan, which is pretty good. So
yeah, the dual threat version can output a pretty respectable amount of damage. I mean, coming in with CNC for 9 is very nice. You could kind of identify that they're on that plan if they're playing the boots that make a tiger. So they'll often just use the tiger to enable the dual threat. So Kadachi, tiger, dual threat, Kadachi, CNC is a common play line there. I don't think this hero is awful, but I don't see it being represented either. I kind of want to stick her next to Rhinar.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Let's move on. I think it is back to you, Andrew.
Oh, did we not? Okay, never mind.
Will picked Ira.
If we're clearing stuff out, then let's talk Teklo.
Oh no!
Hell yeah!
All right.
Hell yeah!
This is a hero that I've heard is like 1 card away from being broken. I don't know if that is true or not. Obviously,
How many
Singularity
times
is good.
He's so
God, I
cool.
hope.
That is such a cool deck. Like the shit that it does is so neat. It's just so bad.
I think if you bring Teklovossen to Worlds, be prepared to lose 2 games to draws, because your opponent is going to have to constantly pick up your Evo stack and be like, okay, what does this do? They're going to check your banish out. Okay, what the heck is here?
Like you're playing these how?
Yeah, this is... I don't know.
Are you a shadow
remember
hero?
that this hero did like do decently in Barcelona. Like there was one Teklo that like got off to a hot start. So I don't know. I feel like
the only reason he's not going to be a 0 is because there will be that one person. They're gonna be there.
That one person is going to have 2 seats for their balls. One for them, one for the balls to bring it to the tournament. No, there's no shot that anybody brings him. Put him in.
They should be. They should be a zero. Like I said, they should be a zero. I'm just saying. I'm guessing there's going to be exactly one of them.
There is no shot somebody's going to go to Worlds with a Teklovossen. Come on.
Okay. You know what, Ed? I think
If
we
you wait and
need
You
to
wait and
bet
see.
a beer or something on this.
if they won their pro
Okay.
quest and the venue is like down the
With-
road, you know.
Here, look it up. Look it up. If there is a single Teklovossen win this whole ProQuest season, then I will agree with you. There might be one.
I don't
Okay,
think
the-
there has
the-
been
let
one.
me-
Yeah,
No,
I don't think they're.
Regardless of
there
that, I
is
think there will
or
be
there-
someone who breaks it. But okay, I'll check it
Okay.
out. I think you're right. I think there hasn't been a win this season.
There's no shot, bro.
No way.
I mean, winning a pro quest is very different than taking a hero to Worlds.
Totally, but
Yeah.
All right.
I was just trolling, bro.
All right, Ed, it is
Alright.
your turn.
Yeah, nothing.
Man.
Sorry to all the Teklovossen mains and lovers out there.
If you're
We
a
just don't know
Teklo main, I
anything about
support
the hero,
you.
so
Like I
prove
said,
us
the deck
wrong.
is super cool. It
is
does some really
cool.
cool things.
I
I just
support
don't know
you.
what it's
It's like-
doing. I just know it's cool because I don't understand it.
It makes a bunch of armor and it turns
It does
into
something
Iron
cool.
Man
I just do
or
a little-
Voltron or whatever. It's
The
Ultron.
only thing I remember is that I don't get reprise against that hero because they keep blocking with armor. Anyways,
Yeah.
Ed, pick a hero.
Let's go with Marlynn.
All right, we
Okay.
don't have Taylor
Taylor.
here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no backhanded defense for this trash hero either.
all right, so this is a hero that basically likes to draw cards and throw harpoons well into the double digits at you and hope that they fish the right card out of your hand and ruin your turn. And they hope to do this 5 times a game until you're dead. If you have defense, if your hand texture is immune to disruption, or if you are a warrior, this is a very easy matchup. If you do not have one of those 3 things, this is a potentially very difficult matchup. Overpower is a pretty decent keyword against quite a few heroes because very few heroes are running around with stacks of reactions and defense reactions. Now, is this hero good in Classic Constructed? I don't think it's awful, but
It's actually respectable,
I think it's
Yeah,
but
respectable.
play
it's
devil's
not
advocate here.
good.
It's
Alright.
it's reasonable.
Go ahead and play devil's advocate.
Sure. So I mean, I've heard a number of stories of people doing pretty well with her at their ProQuest seasons.
I have to.
Granted, you know, they usually come up short from those stories, but I mean, she has a very powerful engine that she has access to, right? To throw a 13 plus overpowered harpoon pretty much every turn, and it can never be overstated how powerful the hand ripping ability of Go Fish is. There are decks that if the wrong card is ripped out of their hand, their turn will fall apart. I mentioned Cindra earlier, how some of her hands can be incredibly vulnerable to that.
Yep.
Not all of them. We were mentioning that with like the erase face stuff earlier, but they do exist. And even Gravy at times, like if he draws a hand that doesn't have the blue to like play an ally, like sort of get things going.
You're
that
also
can theoretically
stealing his
go as
gold
well.
as well, which is kind of a big deal.
Stealing the gold, sure.
Yeah.
Now, with that said,
Yep.
she struggles immensely to handle board building, regardless, because she gets like the 1 attack per turn usually. So it's still a bad matchup for her, but it's not hopeless in the way some things can feel.
He's actually not terrible against any of the top decks.
Yeah. King Shark
funny
against
as it
Cindra,
is, right? Like
Overpower against the
Yeah.
Earth decks is generally very good.
right.
Yeah.
Gravy is probably hard, but yeah, she does a powerful thing for sure.
Yeah.
So I just was saying trash deck. It's not bad. She has some really good cards like what is the name of the card?
King Shark Harpoon.
Going fishing or something.
Catch of the day.
Catch of the day. Yes.
Catch of the day.
The blue one that
Yeah, that
doubles.
card, if it hits right, is like brutal. And then obviously she gets Codex. She's like one of the best Codex decks ever because you just keep 2 blues Codex. You rip a card from their hand. You send a overpowered 10 Harpoon, take another card. Like, I mean, that's pretty fucked up.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, like,
I put it next
she
to
can win.
Rhinar and Ira, but
That's what I
Sure.
would do too.
Yeah.
Because she can't be justified to be A. But she's a deck that has the potential to high roll and do well during the CC event.
like this is a hero that I feel like one card could push into like serious meta contention.
For sure.
Sure.
For sure.
All right. Dear Taylor, if you don't like our assessment, you should have been on the cast. All right. Will, pick a hero.
Let's talk about Slippy.
Oh man, how the mighty have fallen. This is a hero that literally was up here. Literally by himself on the Singapore tier list.
Crushing.
Solo S tier large meta share.
Oh, that was how could I forget?
He lost Bonds. And now literally I think like less than like 1% of people are playing him at tier 3 events from what I've seen. Turns out Bonds plus Mantle, a very, very strong combination.
Yep.
And not having access to that bullshit is a big deal. Basically, if you want to
still
play,
better than Azuri. But...
yeah, if you want to play an assassin, you should be playing Mario or God, the other Arakni.
Well, that's not. Yeah. That's not a real assassin. Let's be completely honest. It has the assassin cards that it's not doing the same kind of game plan, though. You know.
Yeah. So yeah, Slippy.
Arguably, everyone else isn't an assassin. He was the first.
Yeah, arguably, everybody else is not an assassin. Basically,
This still is a ninja assassin.
So let me see if my assessment is correct here. Nobody's running Snag at the moment. And I think D-React levels are slightly up at the moment. I've noticed the Cindra builds being a little bit more defensive. I've noticed the Verdance builds a little bit more defensive.
So I think part of it is the D-Reacts are better against the Arakni Marionette. So I think that's why they're going up a little bit, because we'll talk about him in a little while.
Sure.
So yeah, a little. I think I have seen 1 or 2 snags floating around actually to just be a 0-for-4 into Verdance.
Right.
But that's a little bit
a little bit troll.
A little bit niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I kind of want to throw him into this section here. He has Codex. We can't put him here. Can we put him here when he has Codex?
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
his numbers just have not been there.
I'm going to put Azuri when we talk about her in D. Like, that's going to be my opinion.
Right.
But so I mean, even if you have Codex, sure, you got a powerful card, but that doesn't mean your deck's good.
A hero went from here to here. That's actually
pretty bananas.
Okay. All right.
I mean, Fang was like A tier and went to C, so
Fang dropped pretty hard.
Sure.
Ira was high and then went downhill.
Yep. Yeah, Meta's ebb and flow. That is true.
Yep.
All right.
Be like water.
It is my turn. Let me go rant about my least favorite warrior. Oh boy. All right. If you're a Kassai stan, close your ears or cover your ears because you're not going to like what I have to say about this hero. I don't.
You complain every time you play this one. It's so funny.
I don't know how this hero is doing as well as it is, to be honest. And I think part of it has to do with people playing this hero into a general field instead of a tier 4 meta. I think this hero loses a lot of percentage points against top-level players playing the top-level decks. Just looking at these 3 decks here, the Cindra matchup is extremely volatile. You could get a good start with a strong blood on her hands turn, and that catches you up. But I think having 1 blood on her hands turn is not enough to deal with Cindra. Let me back up a little bit. Let me talk about the different builds of Kassai. There are basically 3 builds. So we have the Dracai version of Kassai. This is the aggressive version. This is the one that's running at least 3 draw swords, probably 5 to 6 draw swords, running packages of slice and dice in red and yellow, and playing extremely aggressively, using the gold for the free sword swings. We have the more defensive version of Kassai. This is the one that's running more D-reacts, playing much slower, playing cards like Blade Runner, playing cards like Nourishing Emptiness, and relying on a more stable and defensive and grindy playstyle. And then we have the Hatchets Kassai list. If you're interested in that, I want to progress on it, and there's a stream that we did on that and a deck tech on that, and that's basically trying to play Hatchet Dory, but with blood on her hands and raise an army. So those are the 3 styles. None of these styles actually match up that well into these top 3 decks. Cindra, like I said, is a very volatile matchup. She just gets to go from the start. Kassai, often you're relying on getting a good blood on her hands turn or blood follows blade. But Cindra has a pretty easy time clearing your board, although blood follows blade is still worth a lot of value, even if they have Mask of Momentum and they can clear it easily. Verdance, this is an atrocious matchup. You have to high roll so much as Kassai to even have a game against Verdance. Anybody who says that Kassai against Verdance is like remotely playable, I don't think you've played against a top tier Verdance. I don't think this is remotely playable at all. You could run
Tell them how our
AB2.
game went.
Yeah. It went very poorly. Even if you start with Crown of Dominion, you get a turn 1 raise an army. I don't even think that's enough. Gravy Bones, this is, like I said, Dual Wield Warrior is acceptable into Gravy Bones. This is a fine matchup. But I don't think you're fast enough to deal with Oscilio or Kano. You don't put any pressure on. I think Prism would probably be, I think that's an okay matchup. I don't think that's awful. But I'm not sure how this hero keeps doing well, like top 16ing tier 3 events, has a very good ProQuest spread. I think it just has to do with the fact that this is one of those heroes that is very good against mid players. Because Dynamo reset, like if you have the wrong strategy against Kassai and you let her Dynamo reset 15 times, you lose. Or if you can't correctly assess the threat of a Spoils of War turn, knowing that you're going to pay for it dearly in 2 turns if you don't block. I think this is a hero that just bullies bad players, to be frank. And I think you run into a brick wall just like traditional Dawnblade does when you play against good players. With that said, I think this will be a very popular hero. I can't put her in A, though. I know people are going to hate me on this, but I'm going to put her here. Unless somebody has a convince me otherwise here.
No, I mean, I won't argue the power level there or the rep.
Do you think her numbers are going to be up, you mentioned?
I think she's extremely popular. I'm baffled by how this hero is here. Like, how she's so well represented and she's winning a lot of ProQuest. Very similar to Florian. I don't understand how Florian wins any games either, but it's one of the mysteries of the universe. I don't know.
Let me tell you.
Florian still makes a little bit of sense to me.
Let's wrap up our Kassai discussion, then we can move on to Florian. Any other thoughts on Kassai? I know that's harsh, but I if we're talking about ProQuest meta, tier 3 meta, sure, she can join up here. I don't know. I don't think you have a good matchup spread into especially these 2 decks. And it's volatile if you play the Dracai version, which I think 80% of people are on Dracai. I actually think the best build of Kassai are the defensive ones, whether you run the Saber version or the Hatchet version. But you're going to run into a brick wall against the Verdances, and I don't even think you're favored into Cindra. So, yep. Any other thoughts on her?
No, I think you nailed it on the head there.
All right. We mentioned Florian. Let's get another buddy for Kassai. All right, Florian. Now this hero has. I've actually seen an uptick in this hero recently, in like the last week or so. So traditionally, this is built as a very mid-rangey deck, but I've started to see extremely defensive life gain versions of this deck that's not running the old tree scepter and all that. Has anybody else seen this? I've started to encounter this in the wild more.
I have not actually, but that's interesting.
I've seen a little bit. I haven't played against it, but I know the variant you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So
heavy life gain, running a ton of D-Reacts, runs a Remembrance to recycle, germinate, plays for several big turns during the game, and I believe it was running Scythe.
Yeah, that's the only way you can play that. If you recall the Rosetta show match that we did, that's what one of the blue pitch players was playing was like more Fruits of the Forest and Sigil, play Thistle Bloom, and do that value-centric game plan, and then rely on the Germinate to beat the like fatigue style decks. And I think it's reasonable. I don't know if it's better than just playing like a channel Mount Heroic style that has game into Gravy. It's not a good game, but it's got game. And then being able to be super aggressive into the Verdance. And there's like new cards that the deck has that, it can kind of counteract the Verdance stuff. It can play Poison just like anybody else. It can also play Deny Redemption, which is the one where they can't gain life. So you let them pop a couple of potions and then you say, haha, got ya. So it has tools just like any talented hero does for the most part, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to ProQuest this season with Florian.
Yeah, he started out lucky as a top 3 deck, and now we've just seen him slide down the pie chart, and now he's slid back, which is interesting. This hero also, I believe, has one of the highest win rates on Talishar. Obviously, take Talishar down with the Great Assault, but this is one of the most played decks and the highest win rate. And we started to see some weird variants of him. So I'm kind of thinking gonna be reasonably popular, but I'm not quite seeing the angle. So I'm kind of leaning towards putting him right next to Kassai. Any other thoughts on this?
Agree. Yeah, I'm looking at the stats as well on the other screen, and it's like actually extremely surprising because I think he has the highest win rate on Talishar outside of Mario, which is also surprising.
He's lower than Kassai, actually. Funnily enough.
No.
Yes. Oh boy.
No, he's higher than Kassai. I'm looking at he's at 57%, where Kassai is at 55.
Oh, see, what I'm looking at was 57 Kassai, 56 Florian. But similar.
I'm only looking at this month.
Sure.
Oh, I mean,
so it's less of a data set. So, but yeah, he loses to Kano and apparently Riptide. That's funny.
Cindra to a certain degree.
If I recall correctly, this is a matchup that is decently Cindra favored. If I recall correctly,
that'd be my guess.
Yeah, and then
you can get there. You just have to decompose quickly, so it's variance related.
Gravy setting up a board state. I mean, Florian, if you're built as a mid-range Florian, you probably deal with a board state acceptably. Because you generally have a decent amount of go again. You also have cards like Trot Along that give your weapon go again. But if you're built as the more defensive, gain life, make rune chance, attack here and there style, you probably struggle against Gravy if you're on that new style of Florian. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up what these lists look like.
Yeah, I've encountered that list several times on Talishar, and I've been like banging my head against the wall as Dorinthia into it. I'm like, oh, where?
Yeah, were you looking at Fab Blazing data?
I was, yes.
Okay, I was looking at February, so that's the disconnect.
Sure.
Okay.
But yeah, you are correct. It's 56 versus 57. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's very close is the point. It's up there, but it's up there because he can kill a lot of random decks, but not really the top decks.
Yeah, it's another hero that there's a lot of similarities between Kassai and Florian. Like, you beat the crap out of bad decks, and you beat the crap out of people that don't know how to play the game.
I love Florian.
So yeah,
he's so fun.
All right, Will, I think it's your turn. Pick a hero.
Who do I want to? Oh, we can talk about. No, we'll save him for later. Actually, let's talk about Azuri. Get a quick one out of the way.
All right, Azuri
better out.
Has Codex and has won a tier 4 event. So
has won a tier 4
I don't know if we can put her in absolute garbage tier. I also think people have forgotten what Shakedown does, so they might forget that that's a card.
It's crazy.
There are so many D-reacts in this format. There's no shot that hero can do fucking anything. Like it has to be D0. Like I would be D very low is acceptable to me too, because I think some people might.
She's a 0.
Like one person, bro, come on.
Put her D0, but hang on before we move on. I'm gonna double dip. Another hero that has won a huge tournament. Let's talk about Fi real quick.
Okay,
because he's kind of similar.
For you, Azuri stands very similar to Teklovossen. Sorry, we basically glossed over your hero. We just don't understand it. All right, let's talk about Fi. We always get comments like that. So, like, keyboard warriors, I can't believe you put my hero in D tier. It's like, okay,
how dare you?
Why don't go win some pro quests, make some deck checks. We'll watch them and we'll decide. All right, let's talk here about Fi. So Fi, Rising Rebellion, the other Draconic Ninja, and I think that's a very succinct way to put Fi, the other Draconic Ninja. You're basically forced to play Mopple with this hero. I guess you technically could play MOM against Gravy if you want, but basically built as a Mopple burst deck. You send a lot of attacks, and then you Mopple into Tenacity, or you Mopple into Salt the Wound, or something like that, and you just try to deal enough damage. I don't think this hero is awful, but I don't see why you would play this hero over Cindra. You don't have access to Flick Knives. You don't have access to Wrath of Retribution. Like, Fi literally doesn't have a card that he plays that Cindra can't play. Like, nobody plays Red Hot and the other Fi Dromai card. I don't even know if Fi has a specialization outside those two cards.
He's got that one Majestic. Although, is that even his? That might just be a Draconic
Spreading Flames, I think, is
No, the Phoenix form or whatever.
Phoenix form, yeah. That is can be played by either one.
Yeah.
So
now,
I go ahead.
I was going to speculate for the future, so you finish talking about now.
Yeah.
Somebody won. Ellie won a pro quest with Fi. I saw it on Twitter, so a little something for you Fi fans out there.
It's wild.
That could just be Ellie being a good player, to be honest.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like if you're bringing Fi to Worlds, you're making a mistake because Cindra is just better. I don't see why. I can't even fathom why you would bring this unless you wanted a higher blue count. I mean, Fi technically runs the higher blue count, I guess.
Yeah.
He's a little bit less fatigable, but yeah, that's about it.
I think his damage output
gets like slightly more armor.
Yeah, he does have more armor. Yeah, sure. Sure. Isn't there like a little bit of incidental graveyard hate running around as well? Like if you get your Phoenix
I
Flame,
feel like there's a little bit less now, but yeah, it's still there.
You get hit by a sunken treasure into gravy. Like you're
Oh,
faced with
that's
a
not
very
right,
tough
yeah.
decision potentially.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you might need to run several Phoenix Flames in your deck. So that just makes your
If
deck
you
a
were
little bit
already running
clunky.
two because you wanted to search one off
Yeah.
of like a what's the card?
Awakening Flame Call.
Yeah,
Flame Call
that one,
Awakening.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So like the Phoenix stuff is cool, and I think the support for him in the future should lean into the Phoenix cards. I would love to see that for him,
his
but
100 points that he has left.
He is
Yeah,
getting close to leaving. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, maybe one expansion slot card for him that like really gives him that niche and that power spike he needs can take him over the edge. But as long as Cindra's around, I just don't see it happening. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty low. I bet you. Well, I was gonna say one crazy person's gonna bring him, but probably not. Huh?
He should be 0. He's definitely C tier. He might show up a couple copies because people like him and have played him for a long time. But like,
Sure.
he shouldn't really.
All
Yeah,
right.
why wouldn't you just play Cindra?
Fair enough. All right, Andrew. Back to you.
Isn't it you?
Is it? It might be me. I don't know. All right.
It is you. It is you. Yeah.
What's the next
Yeah,
warrior
there's,
here?
there's still a
All
warrior
right.
left, so it's
All
gotta
right.
be, right?
All right. This hero, I am very, 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 very biased, but I do believe Dorinthia is very good in this current meta.
Ooh.
You build your deck aggressively, you are fine into Cindra. You build your deck aggressively with Dauntlesses. You're not favored in Verdance, but you are okay in Verdance. You can also run a life gain build that's running like 6 Oasis, AB2, and take it on the chin and stuff like that. And if you put the Verdance into a very tough sideboarding decision, because if they present a traditional Verdance deck and you're running the life gain version of Dorinthia and they don't have the plot combo, they just deterministically lose because you have so much prevention in AB2. If they do present the pot combo and you are presenting a mid-range or aggressively leaning Dorinthia, having no blocks gets you killed. And you don't have enough time to deploy your pot combo anyways. So I think you're very good into Gravy as well. Obviously, this is at minimum 80-20. Now, the very, very elite Gravy players do have given me a little bit of a game from on occasion, but this is still a hero if you fundamentally understand what you're supposed to be doing as Dorinthia, which is basically clearing and making vigor tokens and clearing and making vigor tokens, and then going face once you've had 6 counters. This is a walk in the park in general. So you're slightly favored into Cindra, slightly unfavored into Verdance, potentially very, very favored, depending if they sideboard wrong if you have the life gain deck. Favored into Gravy. Most decks, even if they are built defensively with life gain, have enough speed to kill Kano or Oscilio in a reasonable amount of time. The Prism matchup with Beat of the Iron Song is now a absolute nightmare for them. You can also run some poppers. I wouldn't hate it as well. So I think this is a okay matchup. You have a ton of armor. They can't make any plays with Erudition until your armor is down. Yeah, it's just a tough matchup there. Kayo, I think, is actually one of the harder matchups for you. And obviously, these two are not favored at all. I think you're awful into Florian. You're awful into Victor. You are slightly unfavored into Kassai. But with all that said, I think this hero is positioned really good, especially if we consider that these 3 heroes are likely to have at least 40% meta share. Dorinthia, I think, is an excellent pick and is actually my pick for Worlds. Personally, I will be playing Dorinthia at Worlds. So, how popular is she? She is a hero that has a floor very similar to other heroes, but this is a hero that I haven't been hearing any talk about Dorinthia at Tier 4 events for quite a while. Yeah, She hasn't made a big splash in the PQ scene either. I don't think she's won a lot of ProQuests. But yeah, she either goes here or here.
She genuinely might be the best counter pick for the meta right now.
Yep.
Genuinely.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I actually don't think there will be a lot of Dorinthias. The ProQuest data seems like that. I've seen some tier lists from other creators. They kind of just gloss over her. She's just like, okay, Dorinthia, yeah, whatever. But yeah, this might be me crying wolf for the 15th time, but you know, I do think she either goes here or here. Ed and Will, what do you think?
I really want to laugh and be like, "This is the time, guys. This is the time. It's going to be Dorinthia. I swear." But I think she's actually like well positioned hilariously. So yeah, I agree.
Ed, you'll be the deciding vote. Does she go here or here?
Low A.
Low A? All right.
It's Kano.
Yeah, that's what I would agree.
Okay. All right. If you want to play Dorinthia at Worlds, feel free to message me. We can chit chat. Okay. Andrew, your turn.
That was me. Okay. We have not yet talked about any of the new Super Slam heroes, so let's get one of them out of the way.
Oh boy, and there's a reason for us not talking about them.
yeah. So let's start off just with one of the easy ones. Just go to handle. That's Tough Nut.
All right, Tough Nut. Built with Romping Club. If you don't believe, built with Rock. If you believe. A
you
hero with you gotta believe. You gotta believe that the top of your deck is a blue. I mean, this deck actually generates a lot of value turn to turn, but obviously has a lot of weaknesses in terms of defense. Having only 3 intellect is a big deal. I have not seen any matches of this hero in a long time.
Dude, he's the Guardian Killer, bro.
This is the Guardian Killer, really? Okay.
Dude, yeah, he's so good in the Guardian.
It's shocking, actually.
Yeah. His defense.
Yeah. Tell me about it, Ed. I don't know anything about this hero, so.
Yeah, so like, I think Fatigue Jarl can be okay into it, but like basically it can block very tall. It has like a lot of the cheer interaction or whatever that like buffs his actions to be higher. He generates a bunch of toughness tokens, which also just gives you extra defense, and then he uses his hero power to swing the club or the rock after you. And yeah, when you're effectively, even if it's baseline, your turn cycle sequence generally is about 16 value when you can extract full value from those cards. But like when your opponent is Cindra and says, I'm going to go 8 chain links wide, then you generally die. So that's the problem.
Right.
Yeah. Can't clear a
also,
board.
the Verdance matchup is terrible because you don't have like the potential to AB properly.
Mm-hmm.
You can't clear the board unless you roll scabs. Is the general problem there? All right. Well,
even if you do, like it's the same thing. Same issue Kayo had was like you don't do it very efficiently, so you're just falling further and further behind.
Yeah.
Even if you get lucky to do it, like it's just and like Verdance, so many issues. Like even AB aside, he makes like 4 toughness tokens. He's like, okay, burn bear, all that goes to waste.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Tough Nut does not have access to Codex and does not have 15 legendaries, but he does have Rock. So does he go C0 or D0?
Hold on. Let me find him. He is D0 because he has a worse win percentage than Olympia.
Oh boy! Oh no! Oh no!
Olympia has a higher win percentage than
I mean, DGA
Phi.
Olympia. DGA Olympia.
Very funny.
All right. I believe it is your turn, Ed.
Oh, bravo!
Bravo.
I
All
love
right.
bravo.
The original Guardian from WTR
He's my favorite.
has Crippling Crush, has Showtime, has all those goodies, has access to Pummel. He got a lot of anti-Enigma cards recently. Theoretically okay against Cindra, but probably bad into the other decks up here. I don't know why you would bring him over Victor or Jarl, though.
Right. His Cindra matchup is probably like okay enough, I guess, but like not enough to justify playing him.
Mhm.
So he has the wizard problem. His attacks just cost so much, so you have to keep your hand majority of the time. Like, sure, you can have some efficient, like 2 or 3 card hands that are okay, but like everybody has a fridge, so like your hero power basically is non-existent, which is not fun. You have a fantastic Marlynn matchup. That one's pretty good. But yeah, everything else is just not great in general. He's good against the non-meta decks, which is not good.
Okay. All right. This was one of the heroes that was most played in Barcelona, and I think probably C0, D0. I don't know.
Well, so he can't fatigue reliably anymore, like not very well. You know, if you
Without CYB, yeah.
go talk to Kale,
Mhm.
yeah, you go talk to Kel McCreath, then maybe he's a believer in it, but I am no longer a believer in it on a competitive level. It's super fun playing Armory with him. Love to play my traditional Bravo deck every once in a while, but not great. I think it's going to be probably 0 unless Kale shows up. And I don't even want to put him in. He's probably better than Boltyn. I don't know. Maybe not.
All right.
He's better than those trash heroes in D.
All right. We'll put him in C0 then.
Sure.
All right.
Oh, those poor heroes indeed.
All right. We'll choose a hero.
Oh, let's talk. Well, all right, cool. I saved him earlier. Now let's talk about him. Let's talk about Max.
All right.
Where's Merrick?
This is another
Merrick?
hero that I have played recently on 0 to 60 and really, really enjoyed this hero. This hero recently got Hit the Gas, which is really, really interesting because this is the card that says, hey, you tried to fatigue me? Well, you can't fatigue me because basically they have the Hyper X3. They put all the hyperdrivers underneath that. And then they also have some hyperdrivers in Banish. They create their Mechanoid. And when they draw Hit the Gas, they will hit the gas, generate a bunch of action points, then hit you with the Mechanoid 4 or 5 times. And you basically can't stop that burst damage unless you have Kabuto. And yeah, it's
Wow.
it's a ton of damage. And this hero basically with this card can't be fatigued except by Warrior. So you basically have to play very aggressively into him. And he's doing a thing which is really cool, but I still don't quite see how, like, I don't think it's quite powerful enough, even though it is fairly reliable. You could fairly reliably get Mechanoid out, even if you're boosting, because you can get it back with the Supercell card. Like, even if you accidentally boost one of your Mechanoids, you can still get them back. And you are fairly reliably doing the Mechanoid by turn 4, turn 5, but still has some issues. I mean, you get a ton of value from blocking with that as well, so obviously not against Shred, but yeah, it's I liked playing him, but I still don't quite see like how you're gonna consistently beat top tier players on top tier decks with this hero. But I just don't have enough experience with it.
It has a pretty impressive turn when it does its go wide turn, like you said. Pretty darn impressive. And if you can do it, you can probably get pretty far. How consistent was it when you were playing?
You were pretty consistently getting the Mechanoid out turn 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And then you were able to block with it a bunch. You were able to attack with it a decent amount. And hit the gas is good on paper. So I don't know. This is another one of those heroes like Teklovossen and Azuri. Like I just don't understand it enough to put it anywhere other than D0.
I bet you some of them show up. Probably not a ton, but they'll be like 2, 3.
You want to put them here?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, he's interesting more than he's good, is I think the summary.
Right.
He's a cool armory deck.
Okay. My turn. There's no more warriors left. All right.
Well,
what is the
there kind of is.
Yeah, I guess assassins are warrior adjacent. Yeah,
That's
this is very close
best
to
warriors.
warrior. This is the hero that the team has been telling me to play for forever now, and I still haven't done that. Eventually, I will on the 0 to 60 series. But yeah, Mario. This is a hero that has been doing very well. We've seen him performing well in paper and on Talishar. We've seen his play rates be pretty high as well. Built primarily as a dagger-focused burst deck. Some of the lines that this deck can do are very, very impressive. Has access to... We always joke around that this deck is basically like 50 Majestics or something like that. And yeah, it's... All the Assassin Majestics are just really, really, really nuts. You got Tarantula Toxin, you have Codex, you have Kiss of Death. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on.
Tarantula Toxin.
You have a moderate amount of variance in terms of, like, you're literally rolling a dice to determine what hero you're going to be. This hero is also not the easiest to play, I would say, but I don't think this is particularly difficult for Worlds level players. I think we're going to see a decent amount of him, but I'm not super sure about how he interacts with the top decks because I just don't know very much about this hero. But yeah, any thoughts on Mario?
My perspective on him is you're good into Cindra, bad into Verdance, okay into Gravy, so you're kind of splitting the difference in a lot of ways. And then
Not that bad in the Verdance. It's actually pretty reasonable. It's like every matchup is reasonable except for Gravy.
Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely a effective deck for the meta. The matchup is, even though like the individual game variance might be there because like the die rolling and just the way the lines are up, I think his matchup variance is generally reasonably flat. Like he can get there versus most everything. With the exception of Prism, we dunk on him. But and of course, you know, if you get the random Slippy that someone brought, that becomes really bad because or wait, no, hang on. Why did I get that?
It's good for Mario because he gets.
It's good. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, I got that backwards. Yeah. It was weird. So he's solid, is I guess the summary of it. And I think for that reason, people will gravitate towards him as a reasonably stable choice. He has, as I said, been doing well recently. He's been top 8ing multiple battle hardens. So yeah, that's about the short of it. There's nothing kind of crazy going on in his matchup spread, I don't think.
Perfect placement. I agree, Josh.
Yeah. All right, so we put him in A medium. All right. I forgot whose turn it is.
It's a me.
All right, go for it.
Okay, another one of my favorite decks from history. Dio. She's been doing pretty some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dio has been performing moderately well. I believe she won a calling recently. Has access to a pretty good spread in terms of matchups. She has an aggressive deck that has been good into Wizards. Has just enough disruption that she probably is slightly favored into Cindra. You go relatively fast. You have Arcade Barrier, which kind of annoys Verdance. You could clear Gravy's board pretty efficiently with the gun or with your head jabs. You have access to some poppers here and there, so you shouldn't be awful against Prism either. Most of your hands are relatively insulated against disruption. So Slippy shouldn't be, or Mario shouldn't be that bad. This hero just seems like a good hero that the people that love her are going to take her. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about her. She seems, it's kind of like pick your aggro deck dot format.
Yeah.
I think
Can
Dio,
you stop a boom grenade?
Yeah, can you stop
Yeah.
a boom grenade?
I think Dio is fantastic, but just like Andrew just said, can you stop a boom grenade? Like, and a lot of the times Verdance can, and that's trouble.
Yeah, having access to a lot of breakpoint
Yep.
denying D reacts is obviously a big deal. I don't think Dio is. I kind of just want to stick her here, right next to these heroes. I feel like she's going to be moderately played and moderately powerful.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
I want to let me double check something. I want to say that her percentage of the meta is going to be a little lower than that. Let me just double check something on that front.
3% means like 12 people brought her.
I mean, more than that.
Yeah.
At
Really?
least. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It might be on the lower end of medium, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, Ed. Getting towards the tail end here. 9 heroes left.
Yeah. Kayo. Underhanded TD.
All right, underhanded KO. RKO. This is a deck that is built for value that tries to get ahead in the first 3 turns of the game. If they start with the sigil, their win rate probably jumps like 10%. They often have a ton of D-reacts. They have cards like Bully Tactics, Big Bully, Mocking Blow. These are all cards that benefit greatly when you're ahead on life, and this is a hero that's going to try to do that. They'll often use their armor very, very aggressively in the first couple turns of the game, and basically try to take the game as long as it needs to go for them to bully you to 0. This is a hero that I saw a moderate amount during ProQuest season. I also saw that this hero had the most success out of the Super Slam heroes. Now, that's not saying a lot, but yeah, I mean, this is a hero that did okay during the ProQuest season. I feel like this is a hero that kind of is like, this is the new hotness, let's go explore it. Okay, it's the best hero from the set. Okay, let's explore it some more. Oh, it's not that good. All right, let me find something else for Worlds. I feel like that's kind of the situation we're in. Leaning towards B very low.
That's accurate.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a deck. Its value is super good. I actually considered taking this, but that was when I thought that its Verdance matchup was like reasonable, and it's not. So like you're
It's funny.
unfavorable.
I used to think it was really good. It
It's
ain't
not.
that good.
It's not. Now that Verdances know how to play against it, you just like get turbo giga fucked. All the words.
Yeah.
And then like your Cindra matchup, once you get lower life, like your value diminishes, and then you do not have action point economy, which is bad. most of your cards are. I guess you have a reasonable amount of poppers, right? So, but it's still bad because your action point economy is terrible. So your Prism is what I'm talking about there.
Roll scab skins. That's what they do.
Yeah, but like you're gonna roll scab skins and attack with some random thing and just hope that you have enough cards to be able to extract the value,
I
right?
mean, thing is, they can
doesn't work.
use like they can use a full hand actually a decent amount of the time pretty well. They've started running things like looking for a scrap,
Sure.
and so forth there. So it's kind of funny, but before we started recording, we were mentioning how there's only like not very many like snowbally kind of aggro decks. This is a snowbally mid-range deck, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, it has a
Yeah.
very unique
Yeah, that's
position.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's good at mid-range. If we were in a meta where mid-range was king, then he would be really good. But mid-range is not king.
Mhm.
Your wizards and your board state and your aggro are king. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Like we mentioned at the very beginning of this tier list, these three decks insulate each other, and there's very little room for mid-range decks when this is the triangle at the top, which means Kayo indirectly suffers because of that. I still think this hero is the best out of the Super Slam heroes. Where did you guys want to put him?
be very low. There'll be some believers.
I'd even put it at B low.
Really?
Oh, you think there'd be that many? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think like people want to play the new heroes, and out of that, he's the best one. I think there'll be a handful, like 8 people tops or something, which puts him in that 1 to 3%. So
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
maybe
well,
5. I don't know, but
well,
enough that like I wouldn't be surprised seeing that.
Okay. All right. We'll put him there then. All right. Couple heroes left. I haven't picked one in a while. All right. This is warrior adjacent, so we'll pick up this hero. All right. Arakni Huntsman, a hero long mocked and disregarded ever since Taylor Morrow got second at the Battle Hardened in California. People have started to look at this hero more closely, and this hero is it used to be basically in D0, and this hero might be towards the middle of the chart, mainly because of one card, Hunter or Hunted, question mark.
Kind of crazy.
And this card is very, very, very crazy because it's bonds on a D-react, basically. Now, if this hits the correct card on top, you can win the game very, very quickly. Or you're not very quickly, you will win the game deterministically because you've removed enough power cards from their deck that they cannot deal with you. Basically, this deck is built as a fatigue deck. You're basically jamming in 65 to 70 cards and trying to run them out of threats by milling them through cards like Hunter Hunted. You have, Slay the Scholars, Plunder the Poor, all those other contract cards. This hero is running a decent amount of attack reacts, decent amount of D reacts, so it can play on both sides. Has access to cards like Coercive Tendency that allow them to go wide and generate a ton of silver, which allows them to buy back Black Tech Whisperers, Mask of Perdition, stuff like that. So just a hero that has gotten an insane card and is now actually very good. I have suffered quite a bit against this hero as a warrior. I think every single warrior in the game is unfavored into this hero. So that's definitely bad for me. And I do think this hero, now that it's on people's radar, may be played by, a dozen people at Worlds, I would say. And I actually think it's moderately strong.
If you haven't played into this hero, you need to get some practice so you know how to manage it.
Yeah.
He is a real thing now. I think you mentioned it here, but I'll sort of double down on this. the fact that Hunter Hunted essentially guarantees you like an additional 9 silver over the course of the game means he has a shocking amount of armor to cover up breakpoints and on hits with. Just buying back his boots and mask. And the fact that he's able to use the boots, the Black Whisperers, so frequently is just insanely annoying in a lot of cases. Because if you start blocking him, you are playing into his game plan. But if you're not blocking him and he just gets to basically have Snapdragons almost every turn, you're also taking a sizable amount of damage and losing more of your deck that way. So it's you have to go into it with a very well determined game plan and execute it.
Yep. I'm not sure if he goes in the Guardian era over here or the Kano and Friends section up here.
I think at the top level, people will have had the practice. They will know how to manage it. So I think he should be more around the Guardian area. That said, I could be wrong. And the people who want to play Arakni are going to be putting a lot of work into figuring out those same top matchups as well.
Yep. Let's just quickly touch on these matchups. So Arakni, very, very poor against Gravy, good against Cindra. This is one of those 90-90 matchups that both sides say they're favored. I don't know.
For sure.
Has a decent matchup
story.
Yep. Go for it.
Story about Nathan and Hunter and Hunted. Hunter or Hunted. When that card came out, Damien was all hype about it. And he's like, this card's crazy. And then Nathan was like, yeah, sure. Like, you can extract a few cards out of their deck. And then he didn't realize that when you play the card, you get the peak. And then you guarantee get the card. And then once he saw it in action, he's like, oh my God, that's broken.
It's bonds at home.
Reading the card explains the card. You know, it's just so funny. Like, oh, you're telling me like somebody was like, oh, how do they always have it? Like they always guess the exact card that's on top of my deck. It makes no sense. They de-react me and get the card. It's like, yeah, because it's a contract card. What are you talking about? Oh my God.
It is worth noting that if you are a hero who can, at reaction speed, change the top card of your deck, you do get a significant amount of percentage into Arakni for that. So that's one of the reasons one of the many reasons Gravy's good into him, but also something like Oscilio and occasionally Dio are able to get around the Hunter Hunted, and with that kind of knock him back down several pegs in power level.
Yep.
Sensei's divining top.
Yep. One final tip I'll give to you is this is something that Andrew mentioned. Do not try to play small ball fab with Arakni. That will turn out very badly over the course of 20 games or 20 turns. All right. Will, I believe it is your turn. It's definitely not my turn because Arakni is warrior adjacent.
Let's talk about. Oh gosh, we got really only like kind of quick ones. Let's talk about old Riptide.
All right, Riptide. This was a hero that back in the Singapore tier list, I believe we put him very low A, mainly because he had a decent matchup into Slippy. Now that his food is gone, where does this leave the Green Man?
Not in a great position. I think Riptide is really lacking a lot of reasons to be played right now.
He's a counterpick hero, and the meta is not one that he counters particularly well.
Yeah.
It's sort of the short of it.
I think he's a C.
All right. Yeah, I could see him. I could see him being maybe over here next to Puffin. I could see some people bringing him.
Yeah.
I want to believe he's okay in the Cindra, but I don't even know that that's true.
Yeah, a lot of the aggro decks could just kind of run you over. I mean, frailty tokens are.
Into Cindra. Yeah, I mean Talishar, he's even like a little unfavored there. So yeah, it's not there.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's got Codex.
He does have Codex. That's why he's not in D. All right.
Mhm.
Couple of heroes left. Andrew, I know you like Pallades. Let's talk about her.
Oh, she's fun. She's cool. She has of all the guardians, she's one of the better ones at just converting a full hand. Like a lot of guardians have the problem where if you just like don't let them block for whatever reason, they can kind of end up IPing. She does not have that issue because she gets to play her instant auras, and she has a cool little loop she can do with Cries of Encore, buffing it up, getting the confidence token so it always hits, and like playing out her auras from her graveyard, including the one that lets her recycle the Cries of Encore. It's very nice. It's an interesting little thing, but it is not particularly powerful in like actually closing games in that sense, or it takes a very long time to do so. She's not terrible by any means. I wouldn't put her in D tier, but she's just lacking in some oomph in the deck, I guess, is what I would say.
Yeah, this is a hero that kind of feels like Boltyn. Like she got a lot of support in terms of like she got a whole set plus she got an Armory deck, which is all. That's a lot of card ejection there.
It's a lot of stuff.
But this is a hero that just doesn't quite come together quite yet. Maybe she needs 15 legendaries as well. We'll see.
I've been told
she's okay. Finish.
I was just gonna say I've been told she's incredible in Silver Age.
She's very cool there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
And she has a card that seems like there's a world where it gets banned someday, depending on like the support and things we get. What happens next is a crazy card for her, just reducing the cost of one card every turn. So like when things line up for her and that thing's popping off, she looks crazy. It just doesn't line up enough and isn't powerful enough into the meta, I don't think.
We'll see.
Okay. Sounds like C0 or C very low.
Yeah. I don't know that she has enough stands to be better than 0, but if we think there could be like a couple of them, sure. Like that would be fine.
Okay. All right. Ed, there's one guardian. Oh, sorry, 2 guardians left. Which one do you want to talk about?
There's a billion guardians.
You should be happy. There's so much choice.
Valda.
All right, Valda. This is a hero that I got to play on 0 to 60 as well. This is a hero that you like to get your ley line out and try to get 3 Seismic Surge tokens and dominate, hit them, rinse and repeat, put them in their place and all that. I don't know. Is it? There's just not enough heroes to draw cards, I guess, because they book banned everything.
Up Marlynn.
Sure.
Yeah, it destroys Marlynn.
She's one of the ones.
Got a ton
I wanted her to be so much better than she is.
Mastery Pack Guardian was basically Mastery Pack Valda, but
Mastery Pack Over Guardian.
Yeah, Mastery Over Guardian.
The cards that are good into Guardian.
Yeah, Fearless Confrontation and Base of the Mountain are pretty good cards. I just haven't seen this hero execute. Like, I've seen Valdas get turn 0 ley line, and then there have been turns where I forget that Sink Below makes them a Seismic Surge, and then oops, my Steel Blade Supremacy made them a Seismic Surge, and it just didn't matter in the end. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she has a ton of armor. She has some disruption,
Yeah,
not
the shield
a lot.
is a lot.
That's the problem. Well, like her only disruption, reliable disruption, at least in this meta that you care about, is spinal, and then her spec is pretty good into the slower.
Spec is pretty good.
I actually saw a pretty cool list that was playing flying high, and they just clapped me for 20 damage or something crazy because they were able to go again, a big attack, and to go this other guardian attack, and they both had dominate. And I'm like, all right, well, that was cool. They still lost, but it was neat.
Do the same kind of
It was
batter
pretty
pulse
neat.
thing that we were talking about with Jarl into Gravy to maybe get there.
I think I figured out why she doesn't quite cut it. She's a guardian that has to be aggressive. And then by baseline, that's already kind of weird. Most guardians like to play defensively. But then you're like, hey, Victor's a thing. Victor's an aggressive guardian. So why is Victor okay and Valda isn't? Is because Victor gains a lot of value turn to turn, whereas Valda is very dependent on your opponent not blocking or having a ley line out. There's a trend towards quest heroes recently. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Fang, you go on a quest. Florian, go on a quest. Verdance, go on a quest. Gravy is kind of going on a quest as well. You got to put your stuff into the graveyard and then you can get them out. Valda is also kind of on a quest. You got to draw a way to get your ley line out. Max, go on a quest.
Yeah.
I mean, Kano, set up your board, go on a quest. Dorinthia, get your Dawnblade counters, go on a quest. I think she's just not reliable enough, and the payoff for doing her quest is that you have to play the game in a particular way. So, I don't know. It's just, I'm going to say probably next to Pallades.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I would even guess that she might be a 0. Yeah.
Might be a 0? Okay. Yeah, if you want to play an aggressive guardian, you're going to play Victor. I don't really see why you play Valda.
I'm ready to start rearranging some of the stuff.
Sure, we can do that once we knock these 4 heroes out. All right, let's work our way from the bottom to the top here. All right, Levia.
Get her out.
I don't. Did she get anything from the last card that she got was Shadow Realm Horror, if I recall correctly, which was
surely
Mist Veil, which was a year ago. I don't think Levia has gotten a card recently. I mean, you have Call to the Grave, I guess, is pretty solid for her. Did she get any cards from Super Slam? Does she run the cards?
She play I guess Show Strength or something, just the generically good brute cards, maybe, but
even the generically good brute cards aren't necessarily good enough because you don't turn off Blood Debt, you die. So
the 2 for 8. I bet you they put in that.
I'm not sure. But I just haven't seen Levia performing at the top level. I haven't seen many ProQuest wins from her. I haven't seen any deep day 2 runs in tier 3 events.
She has some inherent power to her, but I wouldn't bring her. So C0 for me.
If Kayo's not doing the thing right now, then
sure.
Yeah. Sorry, Mansant.
Yep, we love you. All right, 3 heroes left. We'll just go from bottom to top here. Eliath.
He is the coolest Silver Age deck. It's so cool.
See.
All I remember about Eliath is that our spoiler card, Leave Them Hanging. It's a good card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very
Intimidate on your opponent's turn. Pretty good.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know much about this hero.
Yeah. I've seen several different builds of him, from kind of the aggressive ones that try to find ways to find all the random cards that are still worth 3 value without being halved. We saw some very cool stuff on stream that actually got highlighted by Majin on World Tour Weekly, where they were kind of doing the whole crush with the tiny little dwarf cards several times over the course of the game, getting up to 13 power and then the tower stuff. Mm-hmm. So he could do some aggressive things that, when it all lines up, seems pretty good. And also I've seen fatigue variants of him. using prevention effects and really leveraging the rampart of the ram's head and other things like that. So like there are ways to make him work, and I feel like that makes him a hero that's got a lot of future potential as they print more cards that kind of break the rules on the actual printed number in the bottom corner. But for now, I think he's still too inconsistent and not powerful enough.
Sure.
Right.
C0? D0?
I don't think he's in. I don't think he belongs in D tier with the others, so I would say C0.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Vincent. Vincent did have a small niche in the meta, basically to bully the aggro decks. She was very good against Aurora. On paper, this hero should be good against Cindra. In reality, I'm not sure if that's. I'm not sure if that is the case.
Data supports that. You find this,
but yeah,
she's certainly not unfavored. I don't think.
Yeah. So Vincent
such glowing praise, but
yeah. Vincent basically built as a deck that puts things into the banish zone, generates a lot of rune chants, and sends things with rune gate out. Moderately disruptive if she wants to be. She has some things that banish your hand, banish from your arsenal. She has access to call. A hero that is not easy to pilot and also possibly can be fatigued. Also has a very poor time defending because you always have your hero ability is not a may, it's a must. I don't think you clear Gravy's allies particularly well.
No.
Yeah, so I don't quite see the angle for this hero in the current metagame, but I don't think the hero's card pool is awful.
Yeah, so as I understand it, for her, pretty decent into Cindra, abysmal into Gravy, bad into Verdance. What she does in it, other than just playing against Cindra, is because she does do pretty well into the other aggro decks. She's actually pretty good into a lot of the stuff we've put in, a decent chunk of the stuff at least that we've put into A tier, especially at the higher percentages like Oscilio and Prism and Dio. She's good into all of those.
Mm-hmm.
So she has some ability in this meta, but she's got just so many downsides as well. And of course, the inherent problem with her lines of play and hero text inconsistency that she has to manage.
Right.
One of the most difficult heroes in the game to play.
Yeah. I think this hero does have a floor. I think there's some people that really enjoy playing this hero. So I'm leaning towards B very low. I could also see him in here as well.
It is very low. I'm just debating if like her position is C or B. I want to say it's closer to C than B.
Okay.
Comparing her to the heroes we have in B. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw, we just got an update recently. S tier Eugene confirmed he was first seed in the top 8 in the Battle Hardened this weekend in Rochester.
Oh, wow.
Ed,
watch out for Rhinar.
Where did you want to put Eugene? You wanted to put him in A?
I was just
you look like a silly goose now.
Eugene is obviously good.
All right.
He could get on the wrong side of variance. That's all I was saying.
Fair enough. All right.
Not this time.
All right. We got Katsu. This was a hero that we almost put into S low last tier list in Singapore. We eventually settled on putting him here in A low. I haven't heard anything about this hero in so long. I don't even really remember why we put him so high. I guess he was good into the assassins and good into Gravy.
They gave him back bonds, right?
They gave him back bonds.
Yes. You know how little I'm thinking about Katsu when you say bonds. I was like, bonds of no, Will. That's an assassin card. I'm like, oh yeah, there's
that
another
assassin card
Yeah.
got banned.
Bonds of Ancestry is back. Also, now I believe he got a card from Super Slam.
He did, and it's a pretty good one, even.
It is a good one, yeah.
What is that?
Gust Wave
called?
of the second
It's
wave?
a yellow
It's a
gust wave that comes in for 5 if it's turned
It comes
Did
in
you
for
say Bonds
3
of
with
Ancestry is
natural.
Google?
Yeah, it comes in for 3, and then it gets go again and like a bonus or something.
Yes,
It gets go again if it's on a later chain link. A bonus if it's after surge. Okay, you're bringing it up right now. The big thing about it, it's a yellow 3 block that doesn't need to have Surging Strike in front of it to get go again.
Yeah.
So it's actually a pretty good consistency piece, kind of in a similar way that Descendant Gust Wave, you can like go from that into your Bonds of Ancestry without needing Surging Strike ahead of it.
Okay.
So this can go like Kadachi into Bonds, I think.
Cool. Okay. All right. I mean, I just have.
They can only play the reds. The blue and yellow are banned, right?
Oh, is that? Oh, the other big thing. Sorry for this card for him was it's what you can get off of if you're doing like a bonds and retrace the path past turn. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Before, in order to like extend that turn, you would need to break your boots in order to give the gust wave you replay go again. Don't have to do that for this one.
Yeah, not having to use your boots on the combo turn is pretty important because that allows you to have 2 turns that are pretty powerful.
So again, he's doing very cool stuff.
Very flexible card. But he's just not the aggro deck for the meta.
It feels like a worse Oscilio. Like both of these decks consistently have a 30 damage turn. But then I feel like Oscilio has a little bit higher ceiling, a little bit better closing power. I just haven't heard anybody talking about or playing this hero. So
yeah,
like I think he has to go in very low, but I don't think this hero is bad. I also think the people that are good at Katsu are like terrifyingly good. So leaning towards putting him next to the pack here of like, if you play against any of these heroes, you're like, oh god, I'm playing against somebody that has not 1,000, but at least 500 games in this hero. So,
well, if that's the metric, then we should have put Verdance up, Vincent up there as well, because like you're only going to see Vincent stands at this point. So
sure.
I would put wherever you put Vincent, I would put Katsu next to him.
Okay,
next to her.
Well, we can put Katsu here for now, and then we can have our moving around discussion. All right, so we're at the portion of the video now where we move things around. Normally, we don't move things around, but I feel like, Ed, you wanted to move some things around now that you've kind of put all the dots on the board. Let's hear what you're thinking about here.
I think we should swap Bravo for Azuri. My heart is fond for Bravo, but I am easily gonna admit he sucks. Just not as bad as Betsy, but he still sucks. So, and then Azuri has Codex, so it's like obviously
gotta be a little better.
Okay, sure. Bravo, you get.
That is all. I like everything else. I think everything else makes sense.
Everything else is fine except that one nitpick there.
Yeah, I just don't want somebody to be like, "Oh yeah, you're crazy. We're thinking Bravo's good." No, he's not. I know he's not. So it's fine. It's fine.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. All right. I do think Vincent probably should be moved up with Katsu. I feel like this is a hero that
it was borderline for me.
Yeah, I feel like this is a hero that is like strong enough against these packet of heroes that if you're trying to attack the decks that are attacking the meta, Vincent could be a good place to be because you're okay against one of the top 3 decks. You're okay against Cindra, and then you're generally pretty good against the decks that are attacking those decks. And you add those 2 meta percentages up, it's probably about 50%. So, yeah. All right. I think this is a pretty good tier list here. 2 final questions for each of you. What does the top 8 look like? And who is your dark horse pick? Let's do the first question. What do you think the top 8 looks like, Andrew?
Okay, I think we're gonna see half of it be our top 2, so like 2 Cindras, 2 Verdances. I think we're going to see both an Oscilio and one of the other ones up there. So Prism or Dio, probably. I don't think it'll be Mario. So and then the last 2, I'm gonna say go to a Kano and I'll generalize it, an Arakni of some variety.
Okay.
No, I said it wouldn't be Marionette, but it could be some variety of Arakni.
All right, so no faith in Gravy Bones or in Josh Lau's Dorinthia. So sad. All right, Ed, where are you putting the top 8 at?
Let's see. 1 Prism, 1 Dory, 1
My
Verdance.
Man. 1 Prism, 1 Dory, 1 Verdance, and 5 other heroes. 1 Cindra. Yeah.
1 Marlynn.
Yeah, 1 Marlynn. 1 Huntsman.
1 Gravy.
What a
1
bro.
Huntsman.
Oh my god.
Okay.
1 Cindra.
Yeah.
And
a Kassai just to spite me.
No, that's trash. And Oscilio. No, Rhinar.
Rhinar. A Eugene or a Rhinar?
Eugene.
A Eugene. Okay. All right. You've redeemed yourself. All right, Will, what about you?
We're going to say 3 Cindra, 1 Rhinar, 1 Oscilio, 2 Verdance, and a Gravy and a Dory.
Sure. I'm going to be bold and say no Verdance is top 8. I'm going to say there's going to be like I'm going to say there's like 4 Cindra, a Mario, a Prism, a Dory, and a Kano. All right.
That's rough.
That's wild. Sorry, Ed.
No Verdance, bro.
Thanks. I mean, you guys put him in her in S. I'm not 100% sold on that, but we've already crossed that bridge. All right, where are we going to? What is your dark horse pick? I think dark horse has to be from probably this section here. Maybe it extends to the green.
Okay.
I'll go first. I'll go first. I think Victor is actually very good. I think he's a decent positioned hero. I don't think a lot of people have a lot of reps into him. If you're willing to gamble a little bit, I think he's not bad. Again, I could be biased because I keep losing to Victor, but you know. You guys knew what you were signing up for when you watched a 3-hour-long Chart Guys video. So, all right, what are your dark horse picks?
Unironically, probably Rhinar.
Yeah. I got a taste of his strength on stream a couple days ago, and I was like, huh. Yeah, I'm at like 20-something, and this Cindra is dead.
I, too, will pick Rhinar.
Okay. Rhinar, Victor.
I am gonna go out there and pull for a Miracle Max run.
Okay, yeah. Max is pretty cool. So, all right. Okay, well, I think that kind of wraps things up now. So for those of you who have skipped to this timestamp, how's it going? time to take your screenshot and go post it in your Discord group. And for those of you who are going to complain about Kassai and Florian's placement, please go DM Ed about that. He will be welcome.
I'm not going to listen to it.
Yeah. All right. Anything to say before we wrap things up?
Please comment and share with me where to find the best Philly cheesesteaks in Philly. Let me know.
All right. So we will.
Wish us luck. Everyone travel safe.
Yep. Hopefully you will be able to fly there in a reasonable amount of time and not have to drive there. Yeah, I think this kind of wraps things up. So if you're going to be going to Worlds in Philly, the team will be there. 9 of us will be there. And yeah, come up, say hi to us. We're friendly people. And yeah, I guess this kind of wraps things up. Big thank you to Righteous Gaming and Dragon Shield for keeping the lights on around here. And yeah, we'll see you guys in Philly. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good luck in the Worlds.
Hey man, did you get the Kayo deck for Worlds? No one's doing that, okay? Like,
Turn to play whole horse now. Don't kill him. Get greedy. Alright. What's up, guys? Put him in the middle for now. I like it. That's perfect. Alright, next year.
RTN champion.
Yeah, we're gonna have to order a couple more.
Thanks for watching the video.
Here's some more Card Guys videos you might enjoy.